On vous demande toute votre attention. Nous faisons les bagages et nous partons. Mais non, pas toi. Les livres d'abord, voyons. Woggity walk, abracadabra, et voilà, ainsi plus petit, vous tiendrez tous en mon sac. Arrêtez. Sucrier, vous êtes bien trop brutal. Mais ta guerre est déjà assez fêlée. Très bien, nous recommençons. Bon, où en étais-je, petit?
Pockety?
Ah oui, c'est ça. Woggity walk, abracadabra, et voilà, ainsi plus petit, vous tiendrez tous en mon sac.
It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder. Widespread investigation on funeral homes, morgues, and hospitals has concluded that the unburied dead have been returning to life.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday, and welcome to the first week of playoffs on LUTI tonight. I am Fusion. I am joined here by Rose of Battle. We've got a super exciting Division 4 match for y'all tonight. Luckburst versus EXtinktion. How are you doing? I love the cat ear headset.
Thank you. I love all your posters behind you. I recognize many of them. I am doing so well. A pleasure to be here with you tonight, Fusion. I'm so excited. We're finally getting into playoffs in LUTI. We're going to have a really fun set tonight between these two teams in Division 4, Luckburst and EXtinktion.
Yeah, we certainly are. Luckburst coming out 5-0, having a very strong season. I believe they got taken to game 7 in one of their sets, but have not had a game 9 set thus far. EXtinktion, on the other hand, came out of a really close, tense division. 3 teams tied at 4-1. Bad Luck, EXtinktion, and Veni Vidi Vici all at 4-1. EXtinktion ended up winning the tiebreaker due to their record. They also beat the third place team by a cool 5-0. So some very strong teams coming out here in the first round of Div 4. It is 4 rounds of playoffs. This is a top 16. So Whoever wins tonight will survive, but they still will have 3 weeks ahead of them before finals.
Yeah, playoffs, and you're able to keep going. It feels like it stretches on for quite a long time, but we are fortunately going on into game 1, top 16, division 4. We do have Carbon and Hydra we were talking about before stream started.
Yeah, we do. That'll be very interesting. A lot of kill power. The question of the day, I think, is going to be whether Luckburst is going to have the paint they need to contest, especially to slow down Comet on that range blaster. A well-placed bomb is going to find that first pick as we're here on Barnacle and Dime zones. Can we get some Barnacles in the chat as Luckburst takes the early advantage?
Barnacle zones, and it looks like Luckburst does have this good opening to start with, and they've been doing a good job holding this paint down. They've gotten a couple picks already, and now at this point, I mean, you really never know what's going to happen on Barnacle zones. It can go down to 1, and then the zone flips, and then it ends in a knockout for the other team. You never know, but right now, Luckburst is doing a fantastic job of holding this. Comet's Kraken is going to come in, not able to get a pick, but has set up in a very aggressive spot, able to get 1 down on Luckburst. EXtinktion now does have the zone in their favor.
Yeah, Comet on the right side did a nice job getting behind Luckburst, but Coolby and the rest of Luckburst are going to be able to clean that up. EXtinktion puts a penalty on the board, but that is not quite enough. Now, Hornet, very kind of out of position, stuck in that pit there. They do end up getting taken out. Luckburst just maintaining control, playing cool and collected around here in the zone. They have not gone like more than 2 members down the entire game. The pressure is on as EXtinktion still has yet to move from the stack to forward. All of Luckburst is just gathering around that Hydra, turtling up, playing together. The Hydra and the Tri just playing, making a kind of defensive fortress here on the stack as Luckburst looks to extend their lead.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of this paint really come out for Luckburst against EXtinktion. EXtinktion, they have some good paint options, but there's a lot of paint over there between that T-Tech. We've got the Hydra, as long as those two are alive, there's going to be a lot of paint on the field for Luckburst. But I think more than that, they've just been able to maintain so much mid control just because they keep getting some really, really good picks. They're making sure not to overextend. They're holding these areas, making sure that they are having their specials ready. And now, with penalty points through, they can just make sure that they keep holding now because these ticks tick down faster than 1 per second.
Oh yeah, they certainly do. All the way down to 20. Coolby over on that left side with Lobster. It's a 2v3. EXtinktion's going to end up winning the fight. The Kraken comes out. That's not going to paint. The strikes come out on the zone. That is going to neutralize it. The picks are going in EXtinktion's favor. There is a member behind them. They need to cap the zone. Can they deal with the Tri behind them? They do. 1 more Carbon in the zone, and EXtinktion does get the flip and hangs on to this game. This is their first big opportunity here as Nintendo's going to have to jump out. Coolby is going to get directed, and there's another jump there. They can't find the Carbon, but huge push from EXtinktion as they begin to stagger Luckburst in their spawn here and begin to get all these points on the board, Rose.
And they could keep holding this all the way to a knockout. You never know on Barnacle. If you get locked out, I don't care that Luckburst got down all the way to 8. If EXtinktion plays this right, they can absolutely take this in a knockout. But unfortunately, 1 is going to go down on EXtinktion. Nintendo on that T-Tech working with the rest of the team to try to get some good picks. But unfortunately, 2 go down on Luckburst. And things are looking really good for EXtinktion. Those strikes go out, but it's not enough to paint the zone. It is neutralized, but it is going back in EXtinktion's favor. They have got the lead. Just a couple more seconds left to go, and not able to flip to Luckburst at the last possible half second. EXtinktion, when we thought they were down and out, were able to hold that and take it to a knockout.
They were. They really rode that wave. After getting that first hold, they just did such a good job shutting down Luckburst without the kind of paint that EXtinktion has. They had a really difficult time dropping. Luckburst was trying to get back into the zone there. They were not able to. The Hydra not quite able to cap the zone in time. The strikes just neutralized it. But yeah, both teams put on a pretty strong showing there. Luckburst showed how strong they can be when they're in when they're in control. Very difficult to dislodge, but EXtinktion just turned up the aggression, were able to stagger Luckburst in their spawn, and I think more than anything, just disrupting Luck Burst. Once you force that Hydra to move, it's kind of a dynamic against Hydra teams. If you can't make them move, the jumps just never stop coming back in. And I think Comet with that Kraken will have to look into that a little bit more in the next couple games, whether or not EXtinktion is going to be able to continue to force that Hydra to move. Otherwise, the jumps are just going to continue piling in, especially with that Tri-Slosher defending it. EXtinktion did a very nice job, especially on the, right after they capped the zone. They just made sure they didn't stagger it, but they kept Luck Burst up on the high ground.
They did. They did a great job. I love seeing teams not overextend on barnacle zones, knowing that if you hold behind, leading up to that court area, don't overextend, make sure you've got those resources. And once you can go through, forcing the other team to burn resources, if they can't get to the zone and cap it, they can't get to the zone and cap it. And even though we saw they had a lot of options for paint between the strikes, but if you don't have the rest of the team there ready to accompany strikes, they can absolutely be painted over. So props to EXtinktion for just holding on for that.
Yeah, nice job for EXtinktion holding on to this. Both teams are going to be forced to move and probably turtle a little bit less as we head over to Rainmaker on Undertow Spillway. Very dynamic map and mode here. Neither team is really geared up for a big pop at the start here, so it'll be interesting to see how they approach it. EXtinktion gets an early first pop as Luck Burst looking to just hold their ground, getting strikes at the ready, and just sharking around mid. Both teams are waiting for each other to make a mistake here. It's actually a splatter color screen. I haven't seen that in a hot minute. Comes out here.
Yeah, I did just realize we are seeing the 52 gal decos. That is screen. But 2 go down, and we've got the Booyah coming out. Carbon starting to see if they can take good positions. And I want to notice that we do still have very, very similar specials on Luck Burst, but we don't have T-Tech. Now we have a Slosher, which, I mean, Bucket's so fun on this map, and I think we are definitely going to see a much more aggressive side to Splatoon for this Rainmaker match.
Oh man, 3 members of Luck Burst up by the enemy drop, looking to get some early picks, but while that's happening, the 52 gal is going to be able to sneak in and get the pick on the Rainmaker, so that push is going to come to an abrupt stop for Luck Burst here, but they still have that Hydra up in mid, maintaining a lot of pressure. TI-84 Plus on the heavy edit is going to be on that spine in mid here. Lobster has come up so close to getting huge picks, but just coming out with the wet noodle hitbox of the Carbon, getting like a 70 or 80 damage, but that's not enough to get the crucial pick as EXtinktion begins their first push of the game here. The Try is going to dive in and get a very nice stop on the Rainmaker, getting chased by the Kraken as well in the meanwhile. So Luck Burst hangs on to control here. Very even game 2 minutes in.
Yeah, I really liked Cringe's Booyah Bomb coming out there in that maze spot in the corner. Just being able to clear that out and make sure, even if I'm not going to get a pick on you, you are going to have to run away. So we're going to have the Rainmaker. And now we can start moving forward. We're seeing Luck Burst all alive. We've got 4 versus 4 on the field right now. A counter screen coming out. At this point, Luck Burst needs to get in some picks. They've got 1 on that 52 gal, but things are looking really scary down there. But fortunately, 3 people from Luck Burst able to take down the Range Blaster. They are through their first checkpoint, and I don't think their push is over because there are a lot of people down on EXtinktion. They are running forward, but strikes are coming out, and that Rainmaker is going to get stopped in their tracks for now.
Yeah, crucially, they got the pick before the Kraken came out. They got the checkpoints. They were able to just run it forward a little bit more. Oh my god, nobody knows Lobster's here. What an insane shark. If they have a moment, they're going to run for it. Yep, here they come. They're running for it. They're going to grab it. Get 15 extra points on the board for Luck Burst there.
That was huge.
The tiniest drop of ink. How do people's nerves not just explode as everywhere around them but where they're standing is painted? It's going to be Lobster extending the lead. The pressure is now on EXtinktion. Has a huge deficit to come back from.
They do. A really, really good timing from Luckburst's Carbon. The Hydra did spot them, but it just took a little bit too much time to correct their aim, and with some really nice squid rolls, they were able to, get all the way down to 12. So at this point, Luckburst, with a minute and a half left to go, really sizable lead. EXtinktion hasn't gotten through that checkpoint yet. So long as Luckburst is able to hold here, make sure they have specials for any pushes from EXtinktion, they could absolutely threaten a lot of pressure without putting themselves in dangerous positions for the final minute of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And now that Luckburst has that big lead, they're able to play kind of on the defensive. The Hydra just staying alive, let the aggros try and get the crucial picks, like on the Rainmaker. And if they fail, they just jump back in and try again next time. Strikes are going to come out as EXtinktion begins to attack mid. Kraken's going to come in and chase. That is going to be 2 picks from Coolby on the Tri-Slosher, moving in on that right side, going to help pinch with the rest of Luckburst. They are going to opt to grab the Rainmaker, take it over to that left side, which is going to catch EXtinktion very out of position here. I don't know if they're going to be able to extend the lead, but this is a great spot to try and camp that Rainmaker. I would just be a little wary of whether or not the entirety of Luckburst is going to go down, as Coolby manages to somehow stay alive, just dodging everything. The timer's going to go all the way down to, to 10 seconds, but EXtinktion has a chance as 3 members go down.
They do. This is the time, you saw they've immediately taken control of mid. They want to start pushing. They've got some space painted up around that right check in case they want to run it that way. Sometimes that's a really risky spot to go. They've got a lot of people up. EXtinktion has specials. They're throwing out those strikes, but Azuka knows exactly where that Rainmaker is, not able to get the pick. The Carbon is going to go down there. We are halfway through the overtime clock. They do still have time to get to that check, but again, they do have to dunk at that check and then pop it again.
Yeah, the strikes are going to come out. Nintendo diving for the Rainmaker, and they are going to find it, just sneaking past everybody. Everyone's so focused on the check, not able to defend that Rainmaker as Luckburst strikes back, and we have a set. It is 1-1 now.
I love to see the games go back and forth. I love best of 9s that go all the way to a game 9 with teams just trading games out on another.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I feel like pretty much all but one of the LUTI sets I've ever cast on LUTI tonight have gone to like game 8 or 9. It's been a little bit crazy, and we may have another one of them on our hands here. Both teams looked very strong there. Luckburst just able to come out on top. I feel like the specials from EXtinktion just were not quite saved. They weren't quite. I feel like they weren't quite used on defense as well as they could have been. When you have things like that Kraken, you got to be saving it defensively, even if you're on that range blaster. I think that like a splatter color screen, especially since it blocks that whole right side, absolutely crucial on defense. And overall, just in the middle of that map, I think Luckburst was just winning the fights. They were finding a lot of picks. They didn't end up getting the Rainmaker taken out. They were just kind of, I mean, we saw it in the Zones game. They're playing as a unit, sticking together, doing their best to just kind of protect the president, as it were. And, Rainmaker, while they don't have the most mobile weapons, they were able to really protect that Rainmaker, and EXtinktion kind of just got the Rainmaker snuffed out a little bit in their attempts to push.
They did, and Luckburst really did a great job of, once they got that big push, and that cheeky lead extension from their Carbon player, absolutely adding insult to injury. Love to see it. I know that's a really, really fun Tri-Slosher map, or so I hear from my Tri-Slosher friends. Love that map. Some of them also really enjoy Umami, which we're going into on Clan Blitz for fighting, trying to take that center mid area. Can be really, really fun. So we'll see how much clashing we see in this Clan Blitz game coming up. But it'll be interesting to see the pacing of this game and whether it's going to be a lot of back and forth, or we're going to have a lot of battling over mid in a weird neutral situation.
Yeah, here we go, hopping onto Umami. It's very interesting to see because I think when I think of this map, I think of Bubble, and we have not seen a Bubble so far this set. Teams very content sticking with what they want. As both teams rocking a slosher, they're going to probably use those strikes as that entry tool. Brid fighting on top mid, able to get one pick, not able to find the second, but the team able to follow. Oh my goodness, Lobster just running through 3 members of EXtinktion there on the left side, trying to get a power clam. They are going to dunk it, go down in the process. That may be it for the push, but huge early advantage coming out for Luckburst.
Yeah, even if they don't score any more clams here, just making sure that they still have mid. Coolby still has a ton of clams ready to make a power clam whenever the situation calls for it. Lobster, unfortunately, is going to get called out there from that blaster shot, able to indirect them. So they are going to lose mid control here, possibly. We see a little bit of a back and forth going on. But that opening from Luckburst, like, it happened so quickly, and now they're able to follow up on it. But the question is, can they get a huge push off of it?
Yeah, I was happy to see Lobster's swings of the roller were connecting on that left side, as well as Coolby holding top mid with that tri-slosher, finding a few picks in the process, really enabled that, but the points aren't really there to show for it. Some huge pushes so far, not quite enough. 52 is going to get taken out, challenging the Hydra Splatling. EXtinktion has a lot of clams and some space in mid, but they haven't found the picks yet to really create that advantage, and it seems like Lobster just has so much space to work with as the Specials and Luckburst are just storming through mid and really giving their team the space they need to work with. EXtinktion just has no idea what to do besides back up, and they've been losing ground the entire game, it's felt like.
They've had a very hard time holding this mid area, and you can get locked out very hard on Umami. Luckburst is trying to set up for another push, but they're going to lose a ton of clams and mid control in the process of trying to push that through. So many people going down. EXtinktion really needs to take space, as you see Comet, Hornet, everybody going in now, trying to hold on to this. They have the power clam at the ready. The Kraken's coming out. They've got 2 power clams at the ready. They really, really want to toss those in, and then all they need is one more small clam thrown in, and they will be able to take the lead here. But unfortunately, they are going to start losing people with a 3v3 situation. Not really sure how that's going to go, but they are able to get that in, able to get it down to 60, and they might just back off here.
Yeah, they dove for that goal. They were able to get it pushing right through that choke point there. Makes it a little bit difficult to get those huge pushes, especially you saw the Zuka just kind of train there. I don't really know what I'm aiming at. I'm aiming at the tunnel. They're going to run through it. So that jump from the block onto the grates that goes to the dome up there is a really huge opportunity. You can constantly see both teams are diving for that dome, and some picks going in Luckburst's favor. This is a huge opportunity. If they're able to hold up on the dome here, they can let their team get the extra clams in. Zuka comes out, not able to find a pick. A power is going to come in. It's going to take us down to 5 points, 2 points, just a single clam left. It's going to be coming from mid. They're able to find it, and there it is. Cringe is going to be able to sneak that last clam in, and a huge knockout coming out from Luckburst, finally getting the big push they were looking for this whole game, coming right after EXtinktion's push.
That is exactly what you want to see there. And when I saw Cringe set up on that dome, on that Hydra, I thought, oh, if they're able to hold this here, they're in a really good position to just keep holding this. That with the Zuka coming out from the carbon, they were spacing out their clam throws to make sure that they were extending the timer as much as they could, and then making sure that they extended it long enough to have a teammate jump back for pity, jump back in with it. Just able to go from what was that, from 61 all the way down to a knockout, or a 50 something to knockout.
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge push, and we saw just as soon as the picks came out, Luckburst was able to move in. When you kind of dive in with all of your members just to get some points on the board, especially if it's a lead but not a knockout, you can kind of just get counter pushed very quickly, and that was the pity clam that EXtinktion gave them after their push. So coming back to bite EXtinktion there on Clamblitz. As Luckburst takes that 2-1 advantage, we're going to be heading to Shipshape Cargo Co. for tower control. First time we're seeing tower in this set, and I think this bodes well for the Hydra on Luckburst more than anything, but I would love to see some signs of life from EXtinktion. I feel like they're giving the Carbon a little bit too much room to work with, so if they can just, you know, paint off the straight lines of paint, just make sure the Carbon is not able to sneak around. Umami, you know, you have the big separation in the middle, so you gotta watch both sides, but ship shape is at least a little bit relatively straightforward and flat, so you can kind of telegraphed where those sharks are coming from. We'll see if EXtinktion's able to kind of adapt to the very like explosive but turtly style that Luckburst has had so far.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I do think that this map could provide a little bit of extra luck to EXtinktion's way. Definitely. I wouldn't, you know, the Carbon might pop off here. I never really know if they're able to really take advantage of those tiny little sharking spots and wait while the rest of the team can effectively fight a 3v4. That Hydra set up in a good spot. Oh, you never know. But we already have 2 going down on Luckburst to start, including that Carbon and their Slosher. EXtinktion wasting no time, already heading towards that first check, and we are only not even 30 seconds in.
Oh, absolutely huge. Bread moving up on that left side, and the Slosher finds a pick, is going to chase back that Hydra. Got in an awkward position, but the bomb's able to sneak one. EXtinktion off to a super strong start here. That's 2 more picks. The tower's through that first checkpoint. Yet another pick. They have specials online. They have Whale. They have strikes. The Whale's going to come out here. The strikes are ready for that final checkpoint. No one's in the top right just yet. EXtinktion now going to challenge it. The Carbon going to try and dive the tower with that Slosher. The strikes are going to come out. Huge from EXtinktion. They find 2 more picks. It's now Bread in the top left or top right, and the tower's rolling into that goal. The strikes are going to stall it. The Carbon's on the tower. They're going to be able to sneak in. Lobster is going to slow down and save the game for Luckburst, but huge push from EXtinktion. Super explosive. I love what Bread, especially on the Slosher, was able to do. Be very aggressive and just get into super awkward spots, force the enemy team to move. And I do want to point out the adaptation in weapon comps. They switched over to that Rapid Pro Deco, so they have double Whale here as 2 strikes from EXtinktion already finding picks.
Yeah, it was very, very good for Luckburst that they were able to stop EXtinktion's just super fast push when they did, because I thought maybe EXtinktion was going to take that all the way to a knockout, but things are back and forth in mid again, which is still going to benefit EXtinktion because now it's on Luckburst to really move that forward. But now Luckburst did just go down several people, so they're going to have to fight their way back in again.
Yeah, they certainly are. I feel like, you know, it's more telegraphed how the Carbon's going to come in with double Whale. It's that much more difficult, especially when you've got the Rapid Pro Deco, which can challenge the Hydra in terms of range at least a little bit. Cringe now. You could just see the mountain of stuff flying at their face. The Hydra out of position now. Hornet finds a pick. EXtinktion has some life here in this second game. 3 members go down as they try and move up aggressively. Bread is going to attempt to jump out there. They are going to get away. Luckburst alive, and I'm not going to count it over on Chip Shape, where you could answer it back just as quickly and with as much force as EXtinktion has had. But man, they've looked like a different team this game. Super aggressive, super in Luckburst's face, not giving them any space to breathe.
They've been very aggressive and taking good positions. Unfortunately, 3 gonna go down for EXtinktion, just paving the way forward for Luckburst to move on through. They are gonna most likely clear this first check, absolutely no problem. There's not a whole lot of contesting happening up there, but we'll see if EXtinktion is able to take this back. You really never know. Similar to that Barnacle Zones game, who knows? This lead could flip when it looks really, really one-sided for a while.
Yeah. 2 members going down onto Luckburst. The strikes find a pick. EXtinktion answering back here. stopping Luckburst from their potential push. They do have that first checkpoint out of the way, but that last checkpoint, which Extinction has, is probably the most difficult part to clear. Lobster sneaking into mid, not able to find a pick. He got the little bump. Can't really ninja squid over that super well, as Coolby on this top right, just helping Luckburst regain some control with some paint. But I think some of the buckets and the Rapid are kind of comboing in range, and it's made Luckburst's life a lot more difficult, way more difficult for that Tri-Slosher and the Tri-Slosher, Carbon, and the Hydra, just from it being able to sit anywhere.
Yeah, they've really, been like, oh, hey, we're gonna, challenge the Hydra with combos, various chip damage from our comps and whatnot, especially between, the Slosher and like you said, that Rapid Pro Deco, really able to take fights together so well from advantageous positions. And that is going to be a wipeout on Luckburst. Extinction is holding this forward, a Hornet holding this area, getting picks, seeing that top right area, watching Coolby jump, going to go down in a trade. And that is going to be the end of that game.
Extinction just locking in that game, not giving Luckburst any space. We saw, every time we saw someone, they were wailed, they were being attacked by the Rapid, they were getting struck. Just very different story from the previous games. I think that giving their team the extra range, I think, in my experience, playing heavy edit is cool and all until the enemy team picks a weapon that has longer range than you and is designed to like kill things. And then suddenly, like, even I think with pencil, like usually the pencils kind of just avoid conflict, but when you have something like a Hydra splatling on the other team, you can't look them in the eye at all. You need to really, really respect it. So having something that can really challenge that, I think has given a lot of space to Extinction here as they tie up the set.
We are back to a 2-2 situation. We're going to have to go into Hagglefish zones on our game 5. We are now back to repeating modes, and we're, of course, going back on zones first. If this does end up being a full set of 9 games, then we will see zones a third time. But how do you think the Hydra is going to fare for the opponents on Hagglefish if they're able to set up in a really advantageous hold?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you see it with like leader or pencil, but Hydra I think is a weapon that definitely likes to sit on top of the tent. And before Extinction's comp change, I feel like they may have had a hard time dealing with that. But if they do stick with some extra range coming out, possibly from Comet again, they will have a significantly easier time. Just anything that forces the Hydra to move means it has to drop its charge. We do see that same team composition coming out again, but the 10 attack splatter shot from Nintendo, did they have that last game?
I believe only for that first zones game on Barnacle. Yeah, Nintendo did play Slosher last time. Has done strikes the whole time. Is now back to that short range shooter with a lot of paint on this zones game. Things are going to go back and forth for a little bit until one team can get some nice picks in. We went to a 3v3 for a moment there. The whale is going to come out. It is locked on Cringe, who's able to stay alive with that Booyah Bomb armor. We just got specials being thrown at the zone. You see people are trying to get into advantageous positions. Cool wants to go in on that flank, but not able to, and I have to respect. Even though Cringe has a Hydra, that heavy edit over on the side of Extinction can absolutely shut down anything like a Tri-Slosher.
Yeah, definitely. TI-84 has kind of been chilling on that left side by the block, just providing, being a beacon for their team, as Lobster on the right side is going to be able to find a pick. This is, I think, a notoriously difficult roller map. Nice job jumping out, using that cooler to reposition. So Lobster back on this side of the zone is going to go for that Zuka. TI-84 in that position on the blocks in mid, just kind of sitting there the entire game, providing jumps for their team. And I feel like Extinction is like getting a pick and then painting the zone and holding their ground. And Luckburst hasn't really known what to do to move through mid, but now that may change as a couple picks come out from Luckburst and they're able to get in position, try and start a lockout. This is going to enable the Carbon to sit on that low ground. This is going to really give the team some things to work with, but a huge pick from EXtinktion is going to give them a lot of space to work with.
Yeah, they throw out those strikes, but it's not enough to paint the zone. Fortunately, other members of EXtinktion able to come in after members of Luckburst had to back off of that zone. So fortunately, they were able to hold Luckburst down to 60. EXtinktion still has a pretty good lead. They're going to want to play for a knockout situation. Luckburst is having a lot of difficulty getting back into that mid area, but they've got Cooler. They can go in. They can take some fights now. They definitely want to make sure that they don't allow many more points for EXtinktion, because EXtinktion is now officially through penalty points, and they're going to have to keep fighting for that zone. But fortunately for Luckburst, it's going to switch into their favor, but they're going to have to get a really nice hold.
Yeah, nice awareness there from Lobster, able to catch the flank on the right side. Luckburst is going to be able to find a pick. I think the edit fell on the right side, and that kind of gave some room for Luckburst to paint up that zone, move through mid, and grab back control. Now Luckburst on the defensive. We see the Carbon setup, Nintendo on the shot, moving up, able to find a huge pick. Luckburst has some life here that, oh my god, Rapid, just doing what it does and just tapping people lightly from a mile away and finding a pick in the process. The score is very close as EXtinktion trying to hang on to this lead, trying to cap it back from Luckburst here, but they're not giving up just yet. The strikes are going to come out. The zone stays neutral. That is going to be hold from Luckburst. Its score is now just 1 point away. That is the lead. Luckburst, huge hold there in the middle of the zone, able to find a pick. 3v3 situation. The momentum is shifting in EXtinktion's favor. This looks like they may cap it here. Lobster answering back, and oh my goodness, this fight is just never ending as both teams continue to scrap here on the zone.
Yeah, and you know, the points are still pretty close here. Very, very good for Luckburst that they were able to hold the zone for as long as they did. I could see EXtinktion was sweating and panicking. They really wanted to get that zone back, and they were putting themselves in scary positions to do so. It is back in Luckburst's favor. At this point, they do have the lead. Both teams have a decent number of penalty points they have to count through. Those will go through pretty quickly if EXtinktion's not able to get back in. Luckburst obviously wants that to happen. Lobster going in, but gonna get picked off. We are now at a player disadvantage for Luckburst. Strikes coming out. It is so close to flipping. EXtinktion has another shot with only 30 seconds left to go.
Yeah, and another pick that's going to be a huge stagger. 2 members down, 3 members down. It's just the Hydra. Hornet is hunting them down. Hydra is in the spawn there, but with such a low penalty, that is going to be a lead almost certainly for EXtinktion. The Booyah is going to come in. It's going to force out members of EXtinktion. They're going to back up to the zone. That's the zone, or that's the lead. Here comes the timer counting down. Are they able to neutralize it in time? They are not. And EXtinktion takes back the lead and is able to hold on. That is game 3 going in EXtinktion's favor.
It is so bad to lose players in splat zones towards the end on a really, really close game. Just like in, well, not just like, but similar to Turf War, the weapon that all of us once upon played when we first started. You know, those last 30 seconds are really crucial in a close game, and EXtinktion was able to get those picks and really take the space by catching Luckburst in just a really sticky situation there after it looked like, you know, Luckburst did have a chance of bringing that to a knockout earlier.
Yeah, I mean, EXtinktion doing a great job. They've adapted in terms of their team compositions. I feel like there's been a lot fewer instances of them getting caught out alone. I think they were kind of challenging challenging Luckburst a little bit too much in the earlier games. Now they're definitely getting their specials. They have more frequent specials, I think, with like the killer whales coming out all the time, able to just displace and create smaller openings for them. We're going to be moving to Rainmaker Museum de Alfonsino. EXtinktion hoping to kind of ride the momentum here as they won the last 2 in a row, but Yeah, this is that Rainmaker. There isn't going to be, well, I think it's unlikely that we're going to see like that Kraken again coming out, but I think that like a Hydra Splat lane can definitely rule a lot of mid from top mid here on Rainmaker. So that's something to keep an eye out for.
Absolutely. I hate fighting Hydras who are able to set up really, really well on this map. They're able to take that mid spinner and just sort of plop themselves nice and comfy there. It can be so annoying to dislodge them, but EXtinktion has been doing a very good job, you know, using those frequent whales from the 52 along with a lot of their other chip damage to take fights together. And it's been really impressive. Like you said, they've adapted really, really well after, you know, they had a good first game, but still that Barnacle Zones game went back and forth. It looked like it was going to be a win for Luckburst, and then EXtinktion was able to flip it and hold it for a really, really long time. But then it looked like they were having a lot of trouble. And after those adjustments, it seems like they've been having some really nice holds.
Yeah, they definitely have. It's going to be kind of, I mean, this is certainly a map where it's easy to defend, so it kind of comes out to who has a very explosive push, as I believe we see the 52 on that left side. Yeah, there's Hornet up on the aggro there as a member of EXtinktion gets picked off pretty early. Now they're all on the low ground. Lobster's going to chase them and find one pick. Yeah, they're getting pinched. They die. Okay, they don't die for the checkpoint. They're able to chase the bucket behind Spinner, who actually finds 3, so that is checkpoint. Absolutely huge. There's the 4th and 5th, I think, coming out.
Essentially a wipe.
For Luckburst there, as they successfully, for EXtinktion there, as they successfully defend that checkpoint. But that is going to be the end of that push. And yeah, oh my god, I got all turned around there because that was on the other plat. Just immediately after finding those picks, they were able to move in, trading with that Rainmaker on with the Carbon Roller, so that is going to slow down a possible EXtinktion push here. Give that Splatling time to set up as Kryn begins to booyah and hopefully lead their team in through mid here.
Yeah, and yeah, you've also seen, you know, ever since they swapped, EXtinktion swapped their weapons around, they do occasionally have some locating tools on that Carbon for Luckburst, able to call them out sometimes, getting them marked and whatnot. Hornet gonna try to go for the cheeky flank here, taking several at once. Now it's going to be a 1v1. It's going to end in a trade, but that is several people going down on EXtinktion. Lobster gonna start going in, or chilling here, just waiting for people to come in. Do they know? Do they know that they're there?
They are not knowers.
The Carbon.
They're not knowers. Yeah, we saw Lobster just sharking on the plat, waiting for their team to move in, but unfortunately, Gi84 on that edit was behind, was able to slow that Rainmaker by finding some picks. So Lobster doing their best to hold off the enemy team, finding several picks in the process, but that is not enough on its own to give Luckburst another push here. But they've done a nice job not going like too many members down. They're just fielding jumps back into mid. Lobster on top mid. Now 2 members down. EXtinktion has some space to work with. Rainmaker long way from that checkpoint, but EXtinktion has a lot of space and life here in game 6.
They have a really, really good chance to move it in here. Hornet a little bit stuck there with a little bit of lack of paint on there, but Lobster is making sure to get some really good picks. Gonna go down to that Hydra. Hornet's still alive. They're doing their best to stay alive. They're in a little bit of a tricky corner over here, at least good for stalling, but definitely EXtinktion wants to move in. They don't want to stall. They want to get some points on the board. They are pushing Luckburst away. Gonna go down 1 on each side. Now 2 go down on Luckburst. We are getting close to a really dangerous situation for Luckburst. Coolby able, fortunately, to take out that Rainmaker, but they are sort of holding this ramp all by themselves right now.
Yeah, on that right side, there's Coolbeat. They're having difficulty dealing with that Slosher for sure. One under the ledge there. EXtinktion not quite finding the opening they need. That Zuka finds 2 more. Hornet's going to end up trading there on the plat. A potential EXtinktion push is shut down. Luckburst, now with only that checkpoint, they're looking to extend their lead. They need some space. This Booyah is going to enable Lobster to move in and hopefully find some picks there, but they get shut down. EXtinktion doing their darndest to just hang on to the slim, I'd say slim deficit they have so far prevent things from turning from bad to worse.
Yes, and both teams have been doing a really good job of moving in once they get picks. And we have a minute left to go. A lot can happen in 1 minute. It is a slim margin. EXtinktion will have to get through a checkpoint. Unfortunately, they're going to get wiped out here. This is a huge opportunity for Luckburst. Lobster picked up that Rainmaker and ran as fast as possible, able to get that down to 18. Niniendo gonna get hit by that blaster, not taken out, able to hold space right now. Crane just, like we said, set up on that middle spinner area, able to provide a lot of nice jumps. Lobster doing what we saw in the previous Rainmaker game, just being so silly and sneaky, rushing in, able to bring that all the way down to 5. And now this is a really nice place to be in if you're Luckburst.
Yeah, absolutely. They have such a great lead so far. Taking it all the way to 5 might as well be a knockout. This is a difficult map to get past like 30 on. So EXtinktion has their work cut out for them, especially with that checkpoint. It's so easy to kind of ambush the entire team as they get that checkpoint, especially getting the pick on the Rainmaker. So here they go, trying to clear all their corners, making their way in. The Suka just goes straight through 2 people. Huge stuff coming out. Lobster really popping off that game. The set is tied up 3-3, and this is looking like a potential game 9.
It is. We are already 6 games in, and it's tied up, and I really don't know who is gonna get this. I'm definitely seeing that Rainmaker looks like a strong mode for Luckburst. We will not be doing another Rainmaker game, unfortunately, but Luckburst did play a very good Clams game before.
Yeah, they certainly did. I mean, we did see a little bit of a difficulty they had on the... Do we really have a replay of this try? Oh, okay, it was that.
I'd say Jordan's doing dirty.
Yeah, I mean, Luckburst has it's definitely had some very explosive pushes on that Clam Blitz match, but they also had difficulty in the first bit. I would be looking to just be careful of diving in for the points here. I think EXtinktion had a little bit of difficulty. They kind of just wanted that lead and dove with the 2 power clams, which immediately put them at a player deficit as they, as that led to Luckburst just answering back immediately, jumping in with that pity clam, sealing things away. Yeah.
I mean, I think EXtinktion really wanted points there, but they just that Hydra got set up really well. Carbon really popped off in that game. A good amount of aggression, able to abuse a lot of nice angles, sharking a lot, and just drawing a lot of attention away. And I think really sending EXtinktion into just a constant state of feeling like they were on the back foot. So we'll have to see here if EXtinktion's able to set up nicely on Scorch Gorge, perhaps. But it could be similar to Museum, where we see a Hydra set up on that middle area, and who knows if EXtinktion's able to get through on mid. But they definitely have tools that they can work with. This could go either way.
Yeah, keep an eye out for the buckets. This is a very difficult map to move around mid unless you have those buckets, but both teams rocking them here. Hornet fighting around top mid, not able to find a way in, but Niniendo, 2 huge picks. Boy, just watching that drop happen. Luckburst has so much space here. Do they have the claims to answer? They have a power clam at the ready. Yes, they do. They are ready for a huge push here. They're able to get a lead. Are they able to find the picks to really follow up, though? The Hydra on the left side, that's going to help pinch. 56, the score all the way down. It's 3 members down on EXtinktion. They can extend this if they're able to get jumps back in. If they don't dive for that point, they are able to just get a nice push on the board. They do end up backing out and getting jumps in order to just help their team stabilize here. So huge early push coming out for them, and I love that they were able to really focus on staying alive as a team after getting, or before and after getting those points on the board. The points not being the be-all, end-all. Luckburst looking alive this game.
They are, and similar to that previous Clams game, we saw Luckburst just start off so aggressive.
Yeah, they definitely did start out super aggressive here, but EXtinktion kind of storming back in here. They find 2 picks onto Luckburst, Comet on that right side, looking for a way in. They find a nice pick that is going to create some space. Do they have the clams to follow up? They don't have too many. They have that power clam and a couple more, but the picks are going in their favor. Hydra finds 1. They are going to get pressured out. That is another member down. EXtinktion has a very strong push going. 2 members under the basket. They have the clams for the lead. In mid, not quite enough just from there. Here comes the pity. That is the lead. Huge push from EXtinktion. Not a trade though. So this push is going to kind of dwindle and fade out here as Luckburst stabilizes a bit and is able to catch their breath. But both teams looking very strong, different from that first Clam Blitz match we saw both teams out for blood.
EXtinktion says we are still in the game here. Do not count us out. They see Cringe on this Hydra. Gonna force Cringe to back out a little bit. Coolby gonna pick up that power clam, throw it to the side. They do want to get in. They have plenty of time unless they get knocked out. And EXtinktion already throwing clams in there through penalty points, down to 23 right now. They may not be able to get any more in, but Hornet is going to deploy that Killer Whale. Unfortunately, going to go down to that Carbon. That barrier is going to close. Basket is closed now. EXtinktion cannot score any points just yet. They have a decent number of clams. If they're able to keep this going for the next 2 minutes and make sure that they don't die unnecessarily, this could go really, really well for them.
Luckburst does go 2 down. EXtinktion fighting on that right side. The try is going to end up trading. EXtinktion still maintaining some control here. TI-84 has a power clam at the ready. The cooler is nearly out. EXtinktion, but EXtinktion doesn't quite have the space and the special in order to move in on their own, so they're going to have to give up a bit of space here. They're looking to try and put this away. You don't want to kind of be defending in overtime. The Zuka finds, actually, yeah, that wasn't Zuka finding a pick. That was a different thing, but Lobster on that right side is going to find a pick, 2 members down onto EXtinktion, and this is the opening Luckburst needed if they want to win this game.
They've got a lot of clams. They could absolutely bring this back. They just want to make sure that they are using resources. They've got that Booyah Bomb going out. Zuka gonna help pick off one. That is 1 down on the side of EXtinktion. There's still a lot of purple defending their own basket there. Luckburst wants to be able to have some more resources at their disposal. They don't have specials right now. They've got 2 people holding power clams, calling out their positions by doing so, which can be really risky. But Lobster able to get a pick, trying to move in now. The Booyah's coming out, gonna take out that heavy edit. We have one of the power clams in. Cringe is gonna want to run in, getting ready to throw that in, grabs that cooler, throws it in. We need just a couple more clams thrown in. There are some there, but EXtinktion's holding strong right now. That basket is going to close.
Oh my goodness, nearly enough. I was loving what the Hydra was doing, pinching from that left side. They ended up dropping to go try and get the extra clam in, but despite all of those clams, not enough. Now Luckburst needs to make a power clam. They have 7. Yes, they do. They are able to get it in time. The shot finds 1 pick. Now that's going to force members of EXtinktion back onto that right side. Strikes are going to come out to slow things down. The momentum is shifting in EXtinktion's favor. Luckburst is going to be forced to back up. The Tri-Slosher holding on that right side. There's only 2 members of EXtinktion left alive. EXtinktion is going to be able to maintain some pressure here. I don't think there's time, even if they go for it there. EXtinktion hanging on. Just those few clams are going to be what decides this game, and we are on match point. EXtinktion, after that adjustment, they've looked so strong. Now they're ahead 4-3. They are not looking to be the ones going extinct, instead hoping to take Luckburst out of this playoff match here in top 16 of Div 4.
This was a really back and forth game. Absolutely not what we saw in the Clams Umami game, despite that really, really strong opening both times on the side of Luckburst. Luckburst, like, they almost had it. They almost had it, but I do gotta hand it to them. Their opening was really good.
Yeah, it certainly was. They've been super aggressive. I think we've kind of just seen the displacement and the effect it's had on the Hydra from Luck Burst. I think Hornet on that 52 has certainly done a lot of work, just being like half of the aggro from Extinction, and just forcing them to not be able to sit in place. I think it's kind of provided a good thing to play objective around, especially like when you have that splash wall, your team's able to form behind it. As we are going to be moving on to tower control again, this could be what decides it's here. Tower control, that was Extinction that won it last time, so we'll see if they're going to be able to do it again like they did on Ship Shape. They looked so strong in that opening. Are they going to be able to do it again, though?
Yeah, I think this one's going to be a really fun game to watch. Just looking at the weapons that we've seen from both teams. Weapons on both sides have a really fun time skirmishing on Mako Mars. So it'll be interesting to see how possession of mid changes over time with a lot of the battles. We've got Carbon, we've got Tri-Slosher, we've got Slosher. I mean, even some of the other weapons can set up in really, really fun positions to enable some of, the AoE weapons that do a really good job of fighting on, under ledges, around stacks and whatnot. So I think this is going to be a really, really fun one. The pressure is on for Luckburst to tie this back out, though, so they've got to be sweating.
Yeah, they certainly do. They could use a little explosion of good fortune here, as it would. Here on Mako Mart's tower control, all eyes I think are on Lobster here. This is Carbon's playing ground, as well as Tri-Slosher. So those two weapons are going to be something to definitely look out for here. Hornet trading with that Hydra very early. Both teams trading out nearly immediately. Both teams just out for blood in the first 10 seconds of the game, trading evenly despite both teams ending up getting swapped around in mid all over the place. So it is going to be Extinction with the first grab on the tower, but they don't have quite enough space to secure that checkpoint, as Luckburst is able to find a pick on the right side and hopefully slow down this tower.
Yeah, Extinction is now moving on, trying to get through to the next checkpoint. They are going to have to give it up here as two members of their team go down. Lobster and the rest of Luckburst really putting the pressure on. Lobster in a really, really fun situation with that splash ball, just forced them to move away. But we have everybody alive for now. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody dies momentarily. There we go. We got one down on Extinction.
There we go.
We're going to see a lot of scrappy fighting on this, I can tell.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the double Zuka, I think, that Luckburst has had the last few games has been very noticeable. Whether or not it's going to be able to find those key picks kind of remains to be seen. They did take out the edit there, but still, the aggro coming out from Extinction, despite finding the key picks with Zuka, has not been able to just withstand the force with which Extinction has been just running and attacking through mid, just very brazenly. And I think especially like Hornet has done a lot of work, Brett has done a lot of work with that. The Whales just keeping Luckburst on their toes, not able to sit still anymore the way they were earlier in the game. They are going to have to adapt. The Zuka comes out. They have to answer back quickly if they want to really make a dent in Extinction's defenses here, because that cooler has constantly been online for Extinction.
And that's been keeping them in the game a lot. Usually, even when they've been going down, because they've been coolered, they're able to get back in it so quickly. And I think that's really, really prevented Luckburst from actually holding on mid long enough to get a strong push going.
Yeah, I mean, every time we cut to a member of Luckburst, Extinction just has them on their toes with whales and strikes and everything possible. So the tower has just been entirely in Extinction's favor nearly 3 minutes into this game. Luckburst has nowhere to move. They dive for the tower looking for some picks, but Extinction kind of dodging in the process. Ooh. Zuka from Nintendo finds a pick, but man, Luckburst having so much difficulty moving through mid, and Extinction just able to just rally around, I think, their backline and their front line, just playing in tandem here. Just avoiding getting staggered. Nintendo looking to change things, though, in the middle of the map, finding one pick, but not able to get the second.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say it seemed like momentum was shifting in Luckburst's favor. They did go down to only having 2 people alive, but they are going to clear that first checkpoint. They definitely want to make sure they're now pushing forward to the right, forward, keeping eyes on left, of course, but they are moving forward. They are threatening a lead swap. They were able to get it. EXtinktion's really now been staggering a lot, unable to get in. And with that Zuka shot across, just getting a wipeout. They are only 1 checkpoint away from a very close to getting a knockout. Luckburst gonna have to give up the tower now. Nintendo's gonna have to jump out there, but a really strong hold to get all the way down to 16 after they spent minutes struggling to get through mid.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of huge picks. We saw that. I mean, that push happened in the blink of an eye. Just one attack taking 3 members down was enough to cause EXtinktion to lose so much space. Lobster finding 2 with that Zuka under that right side, finding yet another, and Luckburst now with a considerable lead, able to kind of sit on their laurels here. But actually, wow, on that top left side, the Hydra's able to win the 1v1 versus the Rapid. That is going to be huge. Going to definitely give Luckburst some space to work with, not needing to challenge that range in mid, so EXtinktion's going to have to kind of dive that tower. Now, heading towards overtime, 15 seconds left. Luckburst has a huge lead to work with. EXtinktion's been on their toes here ever since that push. EXtinktion having difficulty even dropping into mid. You can kind of see Luckburst has kind of rotated towards that left side. The try is going to find one on tower. It is a 2v2 situation. There are no GG specials in play just yet. No GG specials. There are Zukas potentially coming out from Luckburst, but those aren't ready just yet as the tower moves forward in overtime.
Yeah, this tower. Oh, there is. Fortunately for Luckburst, that they still had to for EXtinktion had to wait through another checkpoint to get through, and as soon as they hit that checkpoint and the tower stopped moving, Luckburst just said, all right, now we all collapse, and they just very quickly took it in a blink of an eye, tying this up to a 4-4. We are in fact going to a game 9.
Oh boy, here we go. I should have known better than to plan my scrim around LUTI being an hour. It always goes to game 9 when I commentate. That just makes it all the more exciting when whenever I come a set on LUTI tonight. So thanks to Luckburst and EXtinktion for providing an excellent set so far. I don't know which way this is going to go. It's kind of been super back and forth. Both teams kind of just show up the other team all of a sudden in a game and take it by storm. So it's difficult to really say how this is going to go. Some games have been all Luckburst, some games have been all EXtinktion. What are you feeling, Rose?
I mean, I love when we go to a game 9 from 2 really, really back and forth teams. I love to see it, but I will point out that EXtinktion has won both of the last 2 zones games, and they've had
True.
pretty strong zones games. So we'll see. Hopefully, after playing 2 of these, Luckburst has sort of figured out where things went wrong. They did pretty well on both, but then just something would happen and they'd fumble, and then all of a sudden it switches in the blink of an eye and they're not able to get back in to the zone. So hopefully they've learned and figured out, okay, let's, everybody take a deep breath. We know it's a game 9 in playoffs, but
yeah, absolutely.
They have the tools. They could bring it back.
They certainly can. I mean, game 9 playoffs, it is all on the line. This one game determines who is staying in, who's living, and who is out. So both teams putting everything on the line, and it's happening on Zone's brine water of all places. Neither of these teams, I think, geared up for this. Usually, I feel like when I think of this map, I'm thinking leader, pencil, those weapons absolutely dominate this map, but we're not seeing any of that here. How is this going to go? How are teams going to really approach this?
This will be very interesting. It's definitely a map mode that we don't see nearly as often in competitive. So hopefully both teams have come prepared for it and did plenty of scrims on it and have an idea of what they want to do here. We do already have an early points for Extinction, but Luckburst is going to go 2 down, so we're going to continue to get points for Extinction.
Yeah, being very aggressive, getting onto the enemy plat. They're able to find a pick. Cringe answers back with a single pick from that Hydra splat lane. The Booyah is going to come in. That's going to let Luckburst try and move in. Comet guarding that left side with the Rapid Blaster. The Carbon's going to be able to sneak through, but they do jump out with that cooler Extinction. Now has the timer all the way down to 50. They have 3 members down. This could be it. It is a full wipeout. Extinction looking to move to the round of 8 in Division 4. Luckburst on their last legs here in Spawn.
Yeah, you see Extinction has fire. Niniendo's really just trying to find a way back in there, but they are all alone here. I know Lobster wanted to get back in. Niniendo was going to get picked down there on that flank. The Booyah's going to come out, neutralizing zone, but that is not going to be enough to paint it over. We see a lot of paint from Luckburst trying to cap it, but unfortunately they're just not able to, and they only have a Tri-Slasher who's all the way over there, not able to run in. Luckburst not able to get points on the board in this game 9 for top 16 of Division 4 is going to Extinction.
Wow, huge. After coming to an early deficit, Extinction adapts, is able to answer back, wins the set in game 9, exciting fashion. They're going to be making it to quarterfinals in Division 4. Congratulations to them. This last game, definitely a testament to how they've adapted throughout the set. They were moving as a single unit throughout this game. It felt like Luckburst was having such a hard time getting in. You can chalk some of that up to the stage, but I think a lot of it happens because of the adaptations that Extinction has made throughout the set. So congratulations.
Huge congrats. And I just want to say, everybody grumbling about Brine Water, as somebody who's very familiar in the New York area and goes to all the Metro Inc. events, it could have been Bluefin zones.
Oh my god, you should have been in the LAN Championship Showdown where everyone is like, should we decide to have our own maps in the mode, and like let's put Bluefin zones in the map list. Actually, let's put other modes on Bluefin in here too. It was an exciting time, to be sure, but not quite as exciting as this match, game 9, that is going to be Extinction in the quarterfinals. Congratulations.
A really, really good set from both teams. Luckburst put up a really, really good fight. We saw good plays from all of the players we got to watch on their team. A lot of really funny stuff from their Carbon player on like Rainmaker especially. We definitely saw them pop off on there, but that is gonna go over to Extinction. They're on to quarterfinals. Luckburst is now done in this season of LUTI.
Yeah, they had a very good run. Extinction, who I believe was the team at 4-1, is going to come out victorious. Finally, the divisions facing off, or the groups from Div 4 facing off against each other. Things are interesting to see. So, good stuff to them, and I'm excited to keep an eye on Div 4 as things progress.
Yeah, that was our first matchup in the top 16 for Division 4. So we will have to see going forward for the rest of the week how the rest of the division goes. I'm very, very excited to watch what's going to happen next in Division 4. There are a lot of really, really fun teams here.
Yeah, there definitely are. But with that, I think that is going to be our block tonight. We have a Division 2 match, I believe, coming up immediately after this. So it's been a pleasure commentating with you, Rose. There's more exciting Splatoon coming up after this. So
there is, and Fusion's got a scrim to go to.
Scrim to go to. My Switch is doing the thing where the power button's not turning on, so it's not docking. No. Actually, I have 2 scrims after this. So, LUTI playoffs. Got a lot of practice. Stay tuned. Very exciting.
Best of luck. Go catch Fusion's games in LUTI. I will also be
Your games in
doing
LUTI.
more LUTI this weekend as well, Sunday night for Division 9 with Malibu, going into top 16. Where can people find you, Fusion?
8-Bit Fusion on Blue Sky. Where can they find you, Rose?
I am Rose of Battle on Blue Sky, Twitch, YouTube, mainly those 3 places, Instagram, I don't know, various places. If there's a Rose of Battle, it's probably me, unless I have an imposter. It's probably me. And y'all can see me again here. I forget on which Splatoon tourney channel, but on one of the Splatoon tourney channels tomorrow for even more LUTI Tonight.
I believe I'm also on. I think we're just getting swapped around. You're commentating.
We are, yeah.
Commentating the second one. So see y'all tomorrow. Stay tuned for an exciting Division 2 match.
We've had plenty of great Splatoon locals that took place in 2024, spanning all across the United States. Champions have been crowned from coast to coast, the Great Lakes, and the South. These winners, however, never had an opportunity to face each other. What if in 2025, we took this to the next level? Introducing the Splatoon LAN Championship Showdown, a tournament where the winners of our favorite locals can face off in an online 8-team double elimination tournament. The best part is, you have an opportunity to play. In the early months of 2025, 8 locals will act as qualifiers for the LAN Championship Showdown, including Big Dapple in New York City, New York.
The game!
Bouillabaisse in San Jose, California. Chai Shoals in Chicago, Illinois.
Pretty hard though. Yeah, just like that. There.
Gatorland in Gainesville, Florida.
It's just, oh, it's a wipeout, and that might be 8 points.
H-Town Splashdown in Houston, Texas. New England in Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, they fell off the. Oh my God!
Sea Battle in Seattle, Washington.
It's a wipeout!
Sunset Surge in Arizona. Win at one of these locals, you get an automatic bid to participate in the LAN Championship Showdown in April 2025, streamed on Splatoon Tourney. Be on the lookout for advertisements from the local closest to you regarding their qualifier. Who will come out on top?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to LUTI tonight. My name is Skepidillions, and I'm here with Half for our quarterfinals of Division 2.
Hello. You know, I'm just reminiscing on how I have more hair in my beard than Popgun does on his head. So that's something I think I take into account after he disrespected me on the podcast. But anyways, Div 2 matchup here. This is quarterfinals between, I would say, honestly, like two of the top teams in Div 2. And both these teams could probably win it all, between Auntie and Loxyay with that smiling face.
Yeah, Auntie going undefeated in the group stage against some familiar opponents. Teams like Petrichor and I Told My Girlfriend I'm in +2, going 5-0 against the latter and 5-3 against the former. Loxyay, second in their group, taking 4 out of 5 sets in their pocket, only going down to Casino Soul.
I think both these teams run a different set of comps. Obviously, on the side of Auntie, I don't know if they're in, but I know they like to run a tent, umbrella, one of those weapons. And then on the side of Loxyay, I know Chase in there as Chahayin. Totally just butchered that. I think I'm going to call him Chase, but I know they do play Dapples, also play more aggressive comps. So I'm excited to see how this first game is going to end up on Splat Zone Ship Shit.
Yeah, honestly, these two teams are very familiar to me. You might recognize Auntie as being free flow, and then Loxyay, you know, climbing through that alpha bracket stardom all the way to Div 2 here. I'm actually high key, like no cap, very excited for this set half.
Yeah, I don't blame you. As we first comp, we see double edits on both sides with that Brella Stamper, probably normal from the side of Auntie. And the other side, we see that Dapples Blaster Wiper, very aggressive comp out of both teams. We'll see how they clear this out.
Like you mentioned, that Brella is going to give them an opportunity to force those 2v1s, those 1v2s, and stall out those fights against such an aggressive comp. That being said, that Blaster and those dualies are both going to give JJ on that Brella their hands full. And now they have to worry about a re-entry here, knowing that that Blaster could potentially just bubble right in front of all of them.
As you see Chase going in there, and the Reef Slider sadly not doing enough damage to the blue right there. As Auntie's are going to start the retake with 3 specials being used. Looks like Fox is going to go down the front line. We see Chase still with the Dapples. We see the Wiper still paying zone. The Chase is able to get one. The Wiper Zuzufan moving up, finding another. Looks like it's just going to be a 2-on-2 right here in the front line right here. As Zuzu's going to able to find blue. That was a little scrappy, but pops hammer here. And it looks like they're able to hold on for another push.
Yeah, able to buy themselves some time. Now Auntie here on the back foot, having to start from square one, getting their specials and trying not to go down. We do lose the Stamper after that Cooler dies to a little cheeky bomb, leaving Cakes one less player to combo off of on this crab. They do manage to get one, make that 2. Something takes out a 3rd, so it's just Chase here on that top right as Auntie finally applies that penalty.
The crab found really 2 good picks there with their 90s. As I say that, Loxyay is able to take the zone back. I think just going to be popped on the side of Auntie right here. Is Chase going to look to go for a Reef Slider play maybe here. Able to go in, kill Parks, and trying to punish the Brella off their Inkjet. And looks like they're going to go down. And Loxyay, without even a breath of fresh air, able to reclaim the map. And it looks like we have already a crowd on the side of Auntie.
Beautiful flank there from Chase to drop on that zone and then use that Reef Slider to entry on that top right. That being said, we have Cakes here trying to clear that top right area, give their teammates a chance at reclaiming that high ground as Blue zips this top left side. Just try and force those 2 players to move, but unfortunately going down. That's going to give Zuzufan enough space to go in, but not before being taken out by that Inkjet. Look at the members of Loxyay. They were so clumped up on that top left side, leaving Auntie only really one place to look here, Half.
Exactly. We saw the Blaster there fight off that Stamper, able to pop the bubble and reclaim their outside base right there. It's Chase again going in, able to find the Dualies, able to find the Brella. It's just the 2 people on the top left. The Hammer is going to get them weak. Zuzufan able to take one. Thankfully, the Cooler gets out. And Auntie, I'm getting really scared here because the penalty on the side of Loxyay is getting really, really low.
It is. They've got 1, maybe 2 if they're quick about it chances here as they'll popping that cooler in that zone, and you gotta keep in mind, Auntie's been re-entering with these crabs here every time. So the fact that Cakes does not find a pick there puts Auntie at a disadvantage for the rest of this push. Blue going in, gets one, gets two, turning the tides into their favor as Chase tries the slide in. Oh man, in a pickle over there on that right side, but Auntie able to squeak on by and get that cap.
Yeah, Chase was able to flank there, but they weren't really able to get any value off it as the Stamper was just slowing that in zone right here. It looks like we're going to see our first lockout attempt on the side of Auntie, as Cakes is very weak right there. The Stamper's already down. Zuzu just comes out of nowhere with a hammer, and it looks like they're going to try and throw it in. Already, Loxyay is already back in control of the zone.
That being said, Auntie doing a great job of keeping themselves in the game by applying those penalties when they need them. 2 members down on the side of Auntie and taking out that cooler and that crab with them, going to put them at a huge disadvantage heading into the final 30 ticks of the game. Either way, we're down to the wire with a minute left half.
Yeah, as we saw Jay there trying to pop the, I probably butchered that, but trying to pop the intro. There's a solo play right here. I don't think Auntie's got enough time to cap the zone. They need to take the zone. One goes down in zone for some reason. It looks like Auntie, I would say, bar a miracle, able to take that zone. We see Chase on the flank here. I don't know if they know Chase is back here. I'm really scared. I don't know. Oh, but 2 go down, actually, on the side of Loxyay.
It depends on how patient he is here.
Oh, he might actually get called out because they haven't seen the Dalvins in a long time. He might go solo cap the zone right here. Oh my gosh. Is he gonna? No, he's not, but able to stall long enough to Reslider is gonna cap the. Oh, barely not cap the zone. It looks like Auntie's able to hold on, get 3 down, and this is, oh my, wipeout. Oh my gosh, Auntie could win this game right here.
Oh my gosh, dealing with the 3v4 in front of them and before turning back and dealing with Chase on that flank. Beautiful stay of attention there from Auntie as this crab and he comes out with all these other specials, desperately trying to re-engage here for Loxyay, but that is 3 down, and it overtime, barely. Auntie squeaking by the lead. What a phenomenal acknowledgement from them that the fight was in front of them and not getting paranoid about those dapples.
I do agree there. I am honestly really surprised the zone was not capped on the side of Loxyay. There's a reef slider on one side. I feel like it's just as though I feel like I'm playing solo queue sometimes where I'm just like it doesn't go in the favor of my way. I think that it's rigged against me. I felt it for that way. I don't know, it was a really good attempt, but the problem is that when Chase on the flank, two immediately went down on the side of Loxyay, so they couldn't really farm up any specials there, and it was really just like Chase was on his own, and they couldn't really cap zone. If they were a little more coordinated, I think it's fine. But I think looking forward to these games, I think what the struggle for Auntie is they try to make a lot of hero plays. They thankfully did flip the zone, but if they didn't flip that zone, I think a lot of them kind of at the end just kind of ran in one by one. And that they also kind of got caught off guard by the aggression of Loxyay.
Something worth noting there is a flank from a dapple like that is not as easy as one might expect to just go behind and get picks, have fun, LOL. A lot of that is a test of patience. At the moment you decide to push in and make yourself known, that is when the element of surprise is now out of your hands. So Chase here on that right side, opting to take it slow and give their teammates enough time to come out of spawn and provide a good enough distraction for him to go in and try and cap that zone. But in the end, not able to pull enough attention to let their teammates in. It's always a balancing act between how much attention do your teammates have on them, how much attention are you taking to split up the fight. So good try from Chase there. I saw the vision. Unfortunately, just didn't look like it committed enough.
Yeah, and we're looking on our next map here of Tower Hagglefish. I think what Loxyay still is going for them is they were basically, honestly, they were winning that game for like 4/5 of it until they just lost the zone and just wiped out and couldn't really retake from there. I think they caught really Auntie off guard by the aggression. I think their aggression really just is a counter to Auntie because they have a Brell and Stamper who probably don't want to play as aggressive as Loxyay does, especially on tower control. They now have a blaster, and I think this blaster is going to do really well, especially on this map.
Yeah, I really agree, especially on tower control. You have that bubble that you're bringing out. You have, oh gosh, yeah, the dapples that play these sides. I'm so sorry, my brain is still processing the fact that we have a dapple and umbrella in a lobby in 2025.
I know, and it looks like we're gonna opt. Zuzu fan's gonna opt for the splash now instead of that wiper right here. Which splash crab on this map is really good at stabilizing and pushing it, just stalling there for long. As Blue and Jay are already going in. Looks like two on the down on the side of Auntie. It's just gonna be Jay. I don't want to mispronounce that name, so I'm gonna keep calling him Jay. Them Jay. And JJ. JJ, that's good. Yeah. And it looks like Loxyay already get their push as Chase also has his reach slider online.
Yeah, the question here is how much does Loxyay overextend into Auntie's comp? That's what their comp wants to punish, right? You got that edit that says run at me, Umbrella wants to stall out the fights, and gosh darn, I think we all hate fighting a decap. Really, it's the more that Auntie allows Loxyay to overextend or Loxyay takes the bait, the better of a position they are here on the re-entry. They're not going to be able to force it with this comp.
What really started this re-entry right here is on the bottom right, Chase was just stalling the decap and dualies for so long. Chase was able to find one, and that just stalled Auntie's like push even further. Looks like right here. This is gonna be a fight down in mid. Parks is gonna throw out the cooler right here. A bubble's gonna be popping. Two go down on the side of Auntie right here, and the Reef starts going in, trying to find another. Ed's gonna go down. Thankfully, Auntie still do have a crowd that'll stall even longer, but looks like Loxyay are trying to clear this first checkpoint.
Loxyay consistently waiting for Auntie to drop to take those fights. You'll notice it was Auntie that went 2 down first in that last exchange before Loxyay even attempted to put their little toes on that tower. So they are going to focus this right side here. Blue going to get the pick on Chase, going to start flanking as well. The bubble coming out, giving them some permanence in mid. And this is Auntie's first grapple with mid since the start of the game. We do see Cakes here having that crab. That is very pivotal for this right side, especially if they manage to get the pick on Fox, and they do. JJ alone on this tower. Now we see Cakes rotating the left. Beautiful rotate there to help out their teammate and give those jumps in order to keep control of the objective.
Auntie really took those fights well together. They ended up in trades, and looks like Parks is just going to sneak by this first checkpoint right here. They're actually able to find the edit on the other side of Loxyay right here. And it looks like the Inkjet also popped on the side of Auntie. Same with the crowd, but immediately gets shut down. Looks like Blue's going to go and claim the territory of Loxyay. Chase is still behind, popping that Reef Slider. JJ's just stuck in that corner. Unfortunately going to go down. The bubble is going to go down. It looks like that's the first checkpoint cleared for Auntie, which is still a really good push getting that first checkpoint cleared.
Yeah, especially getting their toes on that second checkpoint, right? They've been doing a great job of stalling out Loxyay from their own elbow. So the better that they can do that for the rest of the game, you know, with 3/5 of it over, it could potentially be good for them. We do see that Loxyay has those 3 specials online, as Auntie is already burning those, so they're not going to have them for that defense. Chase coming in that right side does get one with the Reslider. It does follow up with 2 with the help of their splash. Now looking towards Cakes, who manages to get another pick as well. Oh my gosh. Oh, finally, JJ and Cakes able to clean up that fight with Chase, but man, what a stall from the dually there.
Yeah, I think Cakes would have found 2 in mid while Chase was on the right side, and that just stalled their push even longer. Loxyay is getting the picks, but they just cannot like clean up the fight and get a wipe out cleanly. It looks like the edit's almost going to die to the crab there. It looks like Chase actually goes out to the crab. And looks like Auntie already 2 down, trying to continue to push with his Inkjet online. Almost going to be able to find the edit. Gonna find the edit. Blue has a small bubble underneath. And it looks like Auntie's going to clear that second checkpoint, which is really good on this map.
Absolutely huge, especially with only a minute left in the game. JJ continuing to just squeak on some points on tower, but not before it is just the edit left on the side of Auntie. We do see Parks there in mid, slowly working their way on back and closer to another cooler. Zuzu fans setting up here for this next push with a crab and a Reslider online. We know that they like to engage with that crab and then pin with that Reslider. So, oop. It looks like a little bit of a situation. The Reef Slider came out first half.
Yeah, Auntie just immediately, as soon as they got cooler, we're gonna have DC, by the way. This splash is gonna, oh no.
Oh gosh.
We're just playing nothing. As the splash DCs, I don't think it would have mattered at this point. Still getting the 22 and haggle pitch is still good. But I think Auntie at the very end there, they just kind of fought together, just forced their fights. Now, unfortunately, Loxyay is gonna have to suffer for these last 10 seconds, where he's not gonna be able to do anything. Fox unfortunately goes down right here. It's just between Chase and the edit. And it looks like Chase is going to go down, and then, yeah, Auntie's going to win that game. Pretty convincingly, I would say, as Loxyay never even cleared the first checkpoint.
Yeah, well, they did clear the first checkpoint. They didn't clear the second. No?
No, I don't
Am I
think
crazy?
Loxyay even cleared the first. No, Loxyay didn't even clear the first. Pretty sure.
Oh, you're correct. Apologies. To me, DC aside, the standout moment of that game was watching JJ on tower. We saw Cakes rotate to the bottom right, I think to help, it might have been to help the sword on bottom right. And then rotating forward through zone to help JJ. Does get one, and then JJ drops off the tower to take that fight, knowing that there were 2 jumps on tower. Just the complete trust in each other's ability to maintain control of tower there when they did not yet have lead. Just beautiful. I really appreciated that play. Strong communication.
Now, I will say Chase's Reefslider definitely is most inconsistent, but I just feel bad because every time Chase Reefsliders, they're resetting the Umbrella, and the Umbrella just tanks that with their shield, and then Auntie's able to clean up with dualies. Like, there's a lot of pushes where Loxyay, like, we see Chase get 2 down on the one side, but then just like Cakes got 2, and Loxyay couldn't really do anything at all because every time they tried to push, the crab. Cakes. There we go. Cakes had just a crab able to solve a first checkpoint, and Loxyay literally could not move up. Also, that's what sucks again about this map. The blast was good, but Dapple's like not really the best at taking space probably at high push, especially like into enemy's base because it's really obvious where you're gonna go. Especially if you're on a reef slider, it's kind of hard to move in against Barella, Decaf, Boys.
Yeah, their comp is made to stall out fights and to bring the fight to their turf and on their end of the map. What was going so poorly from Auntie at the start of the game was the fact that they were dropping and they were trying to force their fights and force their engagements. And Loxyay waited for that. They waited for them to overextend, and only then did they start trying to push. I found particularly that first half of the game stylistically backwards from what one would expect from their comps.
I do agree. I think from the side of Loxyay, I think I just dropped the crab. Honestly, I think playing more just like going full in with a Dapple's Blast or Wiper looked just more natural, and just the Wiper also just looked better into a comp because as a Wiper you can kind of pressure the Umbrella more, you can kind of pressure dualies more. But like on Splash, like it was harder to help with the Umbrella because it's still an HP tank shield, and then they couldn't really get any values out of their crabs like Cakes did on the side of Auntie.
Yeah, I agree with that. I did not see as much crab power that particular game coming out from Loxyay. That being said, it's this stylistic tug and pull that you have between the Umbrella and the dualie, where the Umbrella can stall fights for long enough for the dualie to come in and save the day. That combo, particularly from 2 players who have been playing together for as long as JJ and Cakes, the whole team really, every single one of them has been playing together for at least 2 years. Trusting each other. Trust is such a powerful thing in Splatoon. To make the right call and know what your teammates are going to do. Just as important as predicting your opponent.
Yeah. I think we're just waiting on someone to join lobby at the moment. It looks like they decided Auntie. I know there's a sub thing, or just like someone, I don't know, getting food. I don't know. Everyone's hungry. But the next map, anyways.
Walking the dog.
Walking the dog for a good 10 minute pause, and what you said.
They burned their pasta.
True. So the next map is gonna be Scorch Rainmaker. I think Rainmaker is probably both teams probably best mode based on aggressiveness. I think Loxyay's comp just favors it more because, again, if we just go back to Wiper, I think Wiper's just better than the Splash right now. I think it's just Rainmaker. You have a Wiper and Dapples. Like, I don't know how you're really good comp. But I will say one thing. I think one thing that Auntie's going for, that they do stick decaf, I would say is probably really good into Loxyay's combat, as it kind of keeps space. It has a bubble, which Loxyay can't really shred that easily since they don't have like shredding capability specials.
They have the edit, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but like special wise, they have a hammer, reef slider, bubble, and then cooler. Like you kind of have to shred it gunpowder wise, so it's a big just tank shield. Plus on top of that Umbrella, like just a lot of stall. And I think depending on who gets lead first, we'll see how that plays out. I expect probably Loxyay will most likely probably win this game, because especially being down 2-0. But I think if Auntie wins this game, I think it'll be very hard for Loxyay to build momentum. They can build momentum easily, but I think it'll be very hard for them, especially losing here.
Rainmaker is one of those momentum determinant modes, right? Having all of that energy and inertia behind you can make a difference. Not just for the Rainmaker game, which tends to be the most volatile mode that we have here in Splatoon, but also the rest of the set. Going down 3-0 is hard on anybody. That being said, it's Loxyay. They're loud. They're proud. Like, I think they could bring the mental back to the table.
No, I think they can. I think it should. I mean, being honest here, like being for real honest, on like this, like honestly, this should probably be 1-1 right now. Like ShipShape probably Loxyay should have won if they just unfortunately didn't just like die in zone, because I think them dying in zone just painted the zone for Auntie. It could have been easier from there. I think they control. Like I think they should know that like we can out mechanic out fight Auntie. We've proven in ShipShape. We had good moments on Hagglefish. We just have to do the objective correctly now, and just not let Auntie like keep stalling. Oh, like Auntie kept capping the zone over and over, and they just stalled it for the inevitable Auntie to lock out and win the game. And I think on ShipShape, Auntie was able to solve really not in ShipShape, sorry. Hagglefish, Auntie was able to solve really well. So I think Loxyay they cannot be scared of Auntie, even though they're on 2-0. I think they have to win this map and then go into Clan Blitz and win that map as well. I think we'll have a really good set of our hands.
Fun Auntie fact. I know there was some controversy way back when TC Gorge ran in SOS. I want it to be known very clearly that was JJ's suggestion.
Oh, we have the what's the weapon called?
Bowser!
Dude, I saw the chase clip about like the commentators reacting to Bowser's. I mean, so we have S-Blast here as well. S-Blast, again, a really good weapon. I will say Dowser, I gotta be honest. Oh, we have also a Kraken edit, like heavy, like we have a lot of weapons that I don't really see a lot. But Auntie able to pick up the Rainmaker. The zap goes down. Looks like we're just like gonna edit here. And Loxyay, the hammer's already gonna come out. The Rainmaker's gonna go down the bottom left. And it's gonna be 3-3 in mid right here. Fox able to find one. JJ already has the hammer, and now they're going down to an Autobomb, I think. JJ's trying to run up, trying to find a pick right here, and it looks like JJ's gonna able to find one, and it looks like Auntie's gonna try and take mid right here.
We do see Loxyay using that Booyah to try and hold some of the spaces. Blue does dive in, does get the pick on Fox, but not the pick on Chase. Now we do see that Loxyay is the next team to get that pop. Zuzu fan having that hammer immediately going to get the Brella out of the field, and the dualies, or the zap. That is all their stalling power there on the side of Auntie. It is Loxyay's time to go, but that being said, we have Kraken, the momentum thief that it is, immediately denying what looked to be a good push from Loxyay.
Yeah, I'm really scared right here. Oh, okay, I thought he was gonna throw the hammer and gonna kill the ink right here, but like, this is okay. Able to find the pick right here. That is actually in Auntie's base. Able to find one right here. Loxyay still needs to have the Rainmaker. The Dowsers are very painting it very, very patiently. I'd say is the damage for Dowsers. But Blues are gonna come in trying to kill Zuzu. And not even find Zuzu right here. I don't know if they had cooler or not. JJ is sitting on the check right here, trying to stall him longer. Fox is pushing up. Are they gonna be find JJ right here? Looks like not. Oh, looks like they are. They will find two, but they are able to get the. They are able to get the check, and it looks like Auntie's gonna try and get a check with their own.
Yeah, the fact that Loxyay managed to get that check after such a long scrap genuinely is heartening. We do see that. Excuse me. Parks backs with the Kraken. Chase here on this left side also having this whale that's going to be really useful in breaking that bubble, like you mentioned earlier. Like, how are they pushing into the bubble? Well, now they have an answer with those Dowsers. Even fight here in mid, neither team really taking their steps forward too much, except for Auntie now off of the back of this Inkjet. Blue does go in, not able to get either one of those picks, but Auntie may be set up here to finally break this first checkpoint if they can manage to figure out how to deal with Azel.
Now, one thing I will say that Loxyay does have going for the Dowsers is Ink Mines. Ink Mines are really good, especially on this map because there's one choke. Blue's already in their spawn. Looks like Auntie finds two right here. Azel's trying to dodge him. Looks like Chase able to find the trade. Cake's able to find Azel. It looks like it's 2v2 on the side of Auntie right here. It looks like Auntie's gonna just grab the Rainmaker and looks like gonna steal the lead right here and trying to get a little bit more, able to get the 50. It looks like the crack is gonna be popping on the side of Parks.
I do want to point out, it's the Decav Blue doing a lot of work here for Auntie to be able to take these fights. Like, crazy plays there coming out from the Decav. Auntie pulling a narrow lead here, getting to below 46, frankly, is not much, particularly on this map. You drop below that ledge and you typically get to 30, right? So Loxyay burning a lot of specials here to garner some sort of momentum as they look towards the right side of the map. They do manage to get 2 down. The hammer finds the 3rd. It is just Parks, our mid-level hero, on that left side, and Loxyay pulls the lead, squeaking on by.
It looks like they're trying to go for more here. Azel could just ran in like he's going to do for the Rainmaker, but they just stalled for a little bit right here, and Loxyay able to find another 2 right there. Fox and Zuzu trying to pop the Rainmaker. Looks like Chase going to be able to win the grab, get 2 more points. I think, I don't know point score Rainmaker thing, but 27, really good. It's out of that check right here. And also now, like I mentioned earlier, Incline. There's only one choke point. Oh, okay, Zuzu just ruining my point right here. Zuzu's able to fight 2. It looks like Blue's going to have to work the ball to back them up. But Inclines on the map are just really strong. You can just put them in one choke, and you cannot really go another choke unless you go great. So I think, honestly, if I'm on the side of Loxyay right here, I'm feeling good right here. It's Vox able to find 1. JJ able to trade off right here. They get the Rainmaker pop. And honestly, it looks like they might pick up, not going to be able to pick up, play Discipline right here. And on the side of Auntie, we have a Kraken and Umbrella, and now Cooler looking to try to make the final push.
Now is their chance to go, but they're going to do so without that Cooler. JJ does have this Inkjet, and we know how useful that has been in breaking in. Looking towards that right side, but pretty weak. All the members of Loxyay looking right at the poor Umbrella. Does go down. The bubble here for Auntie, rather far back considering the state of the game that we are in, and shredded. Not able to be used for the Rainmaker to full lead. Cakes trying to find some picks here with that Rainmaker, but we do see Loxyay pushing up. Fox dropping in the mid. They are stopped by Parks and JJ. Chase on the right side also being taken out. It is just the 2 members of Loxyay behind that snipe. Backing further up into the pit. But oh my gosh, the stamp? Are they going to throw it at the rain?
Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm going to be honest, that looks like Auntie's going to win that, especially because, forgetting names right here, I think Parks on that heavy edit, on that heavy, had Kraken right there, so that Kraken has been a tank tool. But honestly, Zuzu and Azazel, I'm totally mispronouncing that. Aza, maybe that's a good name.
Yeah.
Aza, I don't know. I think they just did really good defense there. Honestly, like Loxyay, they kind of ran in 1 by 1. I kind of got scared. We saw Fox run in, we saw Chase run in, but at the end of the day, lead of 27 is still really good on Scorch as long as they didn't wipe. And then we saw the hammer throw at the end, killing the Rainmaker, which was just the cherry on top. And I'm honestly, Loxyay, that probably shouldn't have map to win. I think if they win this Clams map, I think they're in a really good position, especially with the momentum on their side.
I completely agree. Game 3, looking at either 2-1 or 3-0 can be such a momentum-defining moment for a set. So Loxyay squeaking that one out. Keep in mind they did manage to get 3 members down on the side of Auntie. It was just Parks left standing. In order for Aza to pull that lead, very patient play, and they went for the moment when they had their best shot.
And I think I'm gonna guess it's Museum Clams based off my knowledge of the LUTI map set and the maps we've played so far. Inkblot. Wow. I don't think I've played this once, actually.
I have, unfortunately.
I don't know. Inkblot is definitely, I'll say, there's something in it. Looks like there's going to be a sub on the side of Auntie. I assume, no way we're running double 10. Swish. That's no way we're running double 10. If we run double 10, I think it'll be Auntie.
What do you think double 10, not double Umbrella? Wait.
No, Swish is a 10th. Like, Swish is like a 10th Umbrella. That's something really stupid, and JJ goes like, because who they subbed out? They subbed out Blue, their decaf. So, I mean, I feel like I hate to say it, but like Splat 2, I remember Clanless Roller on Splatoon 2, it was just 10th Umbrella was the way they go, because it's just like meat shield, and everyone just goes behind the 10th Umbrella. But it's becoming more predictable. Okay, on the side of Loxyay, I will say though, their aggressiveness, they just need to continue doing it. I think they're just winning fights, and if they're too scared to fight into Auntie, that's when they lose. I think they can't. The thing is, they cannot just go over discipline. They cannot really wipe out. I think that map they kind of stabilizers and the dowsers from Chase, and also the edit on the side of Aza. I really hope I'm pronouncing it right. But I think Loxyay knew when to fight, knew when to back off, and Auntie just also was kind of never really got a push started. I would say they got that one checkpoint, but like they got the 46, but like that was kind of just like a, we grabbed the Rainmaker 2 times, and we got the 46. They didn't really like full run in to get the 46.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a DC. Okay. Okay.
Also,
we have a DC.
I kind of disagree with the decision to take out the decaf.
Yeah, I mean,
the reason why is because the one set that Loxyay lost in the group stage was to Casino Soul, which has a really strong decav on it. And so I have to wonder how much that has to do with it.
But also, I could think of the side of Auntie. They could be thinking like, okay, Loxyay is playing so aggro, let's just fight fire with fire. Let's just bring in another aggro. Because decaf, cool, it's a weapon, it can paint a lot, but like, it can't really like be on the speed of a Umbrella or like a Dualies. We just saw the counter there. I'm not gonna probably say anything, but it probably looks like they are fighting fire with fire, and I was probably lying about double Umbrella. But I think with this map will just be who cannot wipe out first, or who can get the first wipeout, get the score to like, because this map could be snowbally, could be big question mark, because also this clans map, I don't know, I've never played a lot, but again, there's only really one way you can go through. You can quote unquote flank on the rails, but like, let's be real, it's probably never gonna happen.
Oh, we got the comp. Yeah, I do agree with the slosher though, right? Clearing those stacks, frankly, is such a pain. Like, it's such a pain. And having that slosher to help do that dirty work, it could be a difference, right?
Now, I think if everything lines up, Chase CC, but we did see like Wiper and Splash still on the side of Loxyay. So I still think they're keep aggro. I assume we're just gonna go Dapples. If we go the weapon I can't even think of the name of right now because I don't even know what it is. I've never really played it. Dowsers, there we go. If we go Dowsers, I mean like I don't know. Again, Ink Mine's really good, but like it's Inkblot. I don't know. Maybe we go Dualies even. Dualies are also good here. But it's Chase. I don't know. We can go Glue Guys. I'm joking. I like Glue Guys. I think this map is going to come down to who can basically get the biggest lead and who cannot just like wipe out the fastest. Because whoever gets the first wipeout will probably most likely win the game. I don't know what to expect on Inkblot plans on it.
I expect to see Inkstrix. Like, the slosher's out. I expect to see the strikes at the bats. That's about where my head's at right now. I expect to see a fourth in the lobby soon.
Yeah, we just need the foil squeezer with that bubble popping.
I miss foil squeezer.
Yeah. Honestly, okay, so I'm thinking, I don't know. Inkblot clams, I feel like Inkblot was definitely, I think Inkblot's probably the second, I would say Mako's probably the most consistent like map throughout Splatoon history. Inkblot, I would say it's from Splatoon 2, I would say. Inkblot is definitely probably the second consistent. I know Zones was played, Towers played a lot. Rainmaker has just been really bad, I'm gonna be honest. Clams kind of like it's like a cool clams map, but like there's other better clams maps. So we're like on the side of Mako, you can kind of Rainmaker again is the worst one, but Mako Rainmaker is at least like a little respectable, and Clams Mako is played more often.
Yeah, Mako you could play any mode and get away with it.
Well, nah, not Rainmaker really, because you can.
Yeah,
just, like,
you can. I've seen it.
No, but like no. When's the last time we've seen Rainmaker Mako be?
I feel like I play it like at least once a month in comp.
That's probably because you're playing solo queue, because it's always in solo queue.
In comp.
What comp tournament are you
I don't
playing?
know. It's just there's not a lot of good Rainmaker map.
Well, no, there's so there's Scorcher Museum. That's 2.
Undertow.
3. I remember Hagglefish, like early days Splatoon 3 got played a lot. Like Hagglefish.
Yeah, but then people got weird about it. Like, and rioted over it.
Well, it's because there's just Haggle Rainmaker. It's just there's 2 ways you can cover them. There's that one jump you can make, and then there's that flank route. And it's such a small map where like it's so weird playing Rainmaker on it. Or it's like so vertical. What are the Rainmaker maps? Sturgeon was also played like a quite bit in Splatoon 2, but then just got kicked out.
No. It's the reason why it got kicked out of Splatoon 3 is because the timers function differently.
Yeah.
So like yeah.
Yeah, so that was the whole thing. I don't know. I don't know what the maps. See, I don't know. Why are we talking about Ranker? We're talking about clams. Clams. Okay, clams Igba. Okay, so what most probably teams are gonna do is they're gonna just either take control. You have to take control of stacks in that. Like you can't just like, leave the stack because it's so easy to flank on Inkblot as well. Where a person can just drop out of their spawn and just flank when you're even starting to.
I love that. I love that part about Inkblot in general. Like regardless of mode, like the left flank.
Because your adrenaline's so on like, okay, because the clan basket's so far kind of into the spawn where it's like, we just go to this clan, like everyone get your specials right, and then just the flank killing one, and then everyone looks at the flank because like, oh my gosh, this stupid flank.
Check your map.
Well, no, I mean like, yeah, but like realistically, like a lot of people are just like holding X down and looking.
Realistically, where's the X button, bro? Oh, it's like right here.
Well, I don't know, but also like.
Have you found it?
Where's the let's put Inkmines. Let's go down to Inkmines again. Inkmines can control the flank. What are they gonna do about the flank if they're Inkmines? No, I'm joking. They're gonna go rapid. Okay, so, but no, there's like, I mean, like defense-wise, there's really only two spots to play from. You can play from the like top, like snipe area, and then like the plat area with a little like big square. But like this map, I will say. I mean, I talked about who can score first, who can wipe out first, but like realistically, this map probably doesn't get a high score unless it's like a first push like the 20, and there's not, you can't really get a follow up really unless you wipe them out. Because also this map's just big, like it's so hard to find clams sometimes. It's weird like that.
Yeah, you gotta have a designated clan manager on Inkblot, I think.
Yeah.
You gotta have somebody circling, and if you back up and give up plat, you lose all that advantage you fought for. And then they retake, and then it's a pain to push again. So having communication on who is swimming to get clams, I do agree that is important here.
Okay, hold on. Looks like Loxyay is subbing in someone. I don't know in the lab right now. I don't know what Chase went. They got. Oh wait, I don't know who even.
Oh no!
I don't know.
Chase is like gone. I don't know if you can see it. Jorian is putting the screenshots on.
Yeah, I see it.
Excellent. No, I know the audience can see it. I wasn't sure if half saw it. So. Yeah, this is unfortunate. Hopefully they're able to find somebody. It's a pretty interesting time to join the fray, right? Who you getting?
They did find someone because there's 9 people in the lobby. So, so I guess no Chase. He won a map with Dowsers. So I mean, like.
That's true.
Cool. That's true. I don't know. This is the match of all ages. This sums up Splatoon in general about how long some sets take. I will say.
Yeah.
But our scene is just very there's not set strict limits. Our set could take like miles, like hours beyond hours. Not hours beyond hours, but like.
Have you ever watched a Valorant set, bro?
No. Well, no, but those are like
take a day.
I'm talking about like being like in like discipline. Like they know like how long it could last. We're like Splatoon, there's not really a guess unless there's like a cutoff time limit. Because a set could go to 5 games, or set could go to 2 games, or our team could just like drop and the set could be just over. So
right.
Let's see.
Volatile. If my best of 5 takes more than 30 minutes, I'm rioting.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't. I mean, like, hold on. Okay. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I feel like it's kind of normal, especially if it's if it's a 3-2 best of 5. Then yeah, maybe it could take 30 minutes because like each game is like 5 minutes. It's like that.
You got 5 minutes to get in the lobby. Get in there, like.
Well, no, because like it'd be like 3 minutes, like 2 or 3 minutes. Let's just say 3 to like 4 minutes to get in the lobby. it's all that loading time, so like another minute of loading, selecting weapons. 5 minutes in the game, maybe. Another like 2 minutes selecting weapons. Another 5
I'm pretty
minutes.
sure the timing rules for most tournaments for a best of 5 is 30. If not 35.
It might be 35.
Am I crazy? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're just waiting for a sub right now. Confirmation. Gonna be honest, 'cause I see. I mean, there's 9 people in LUTI.
Yeah,
right?
I see. We're gonna check LUTI help desk. Are you playing LUTI?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Oh my gosh, I wasn't paying attention. Yes.
You are playing LUTI? How are you doing in LUTI?
We are gonna be in the DivX finals. We have to find a sub though because the May 3rd is one of our teammates' graduation dates, and it's like sucks. Well, I feel bad, but like
I'm sorry.
it also does suck. I don't know. So we have to also find a +1, all that. I'm pretty
Just
sure
like
the top
Loxyay is right now.
I'm pretty sure the DivX teams are going to be, it's obviously Moonlight Floaters, it's going to be Manshine, and then Slide to win. I don't know if the Group B has finished up yet, but yeah, that's probably the 14. I think they're confirmed the 4 teams. I think we're just waiting. When did we start? When did it say it was going to start? We all spent an hour on the set, and we played 3 games so far. What a fun time I'm having. I might go to bed before the set finishes.
I feel so terrible.
I'm joking. I'm on Easter break, so.
We'll live. We're doing it. They're doing it. We're with them. We're together. You know, we're a team. Everybody is a team. We're all one big
sub in. I'll just sub in. I can ult. I'm not afraid to use my ult. Whoa, who said that? Whoa.
Saying that live on stream with me in particular is crazy work.
No. I want to be that dumb. No, I'm not that. I'm not that online to use that. I mean, I'm off Twitter completely.
Unless you're trying to trick me.
No. I'm on NA X rank on my ult. Gotta be honest, just to scroll around. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're finally starting. This is a miracle. Wow. Okay, so 008.
Let's go.
Don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who 008 is. I'm gonna guess they play a frontline of some sort because I would assume they probably not get a cooler player, or unless like they're a cooler player and then Azza switches to like a midline frontline ish. But
not on the roster yet. But that's okay.
No, I would assume they enter a transfer request. Like if I go to LUTI help desk right now.
Yeah, I was just trying to see who it is.
Can I read? God, can I say transfer requests? Transfer requests. Transfer request. No, I can't see. I don't know. It's like I don't know who.
Oh, it's Porky. I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe? Does anybody know who that is?
I can hold on. Okay. I don't know what they said the transfer request about.
When I search 008 on Sundo, I get Porky.
Chase wasn't the one DCing, so it was Fox. Who did you see? Zuzu or Fox? I think it was Zuzu that did. So I didn't see any lag on my end. Obviously, it can be different. Okay, yeah, it looks like Slide that went Diggy Manshine. Yeah.
What? You lost me.
Oh, sorry. It's about DivX. So it is gonna be Slide that went Manshine. So we do have the 14th for DivX, like I just said. But okay, I expect. I'm gonna assume. Okay, 008 has a 5-star pencil. I don't know what we're gonna be expecting. Would you see that bucket wiper on the side of Auntie? And we see a knot. Wow. Okay, so we do switch over to the pen, and then Azza's going to switch over to the knot. I will say, one thing Loxyay is going to struggle with is paint, because they're really paint efficient, except for the pencil.
The pen player is Aster. Thank you, Isuel. Apologies for helping us figure that out. A former player of Loxyay, so a familiar face joining the roster here when they needed the most. We do see Zuzu working their way to that left side. Does get one, does get two. I think they're feeling rested and refreshed after that delay.
Yeah, Zuzu just head on, just right out at Parks and just killed them. Zuzu has 7 clams right here, able to toss the claim right here. We're gonna see. Unfortunately, died to a bomb right there. It looks like Auntie's able to fend off the push from now. Strikes are gonna come on the side of Squish right here. It looks like Rain's gonna pop right here on the side of Loxyay. Auntie's definitely gonna go down, but traded right back to Zuzu. Cakes just gets hammered, like literally in game by that hammer. And it looks like Parks is gonna trap this corner right here. Gonna try and jump, still fighting it. Zuzu not able to find the pick, but looks like Loxyay trying to start a push here, but unfortunately Fox goes down.
Good defense there from Loxyay, but not enough to garner them a push. We do see that they lose one of those power clamps. Parks popping that cooler here on this left side, starting to look forward. This is a really aggressive position for this edit to be taking right now, and they do form a power clam and dunk. So beautiful first push here from Auntie, but notice that they don't have any more clams as we see Zuzu back on that plat. That's looking to be a closed out push for Auntie, who nonetheless is still in control of mid.
Actually, looks like, I was gonna say, I thought JJ got the kill up there, but JJ unfortunately going down. You see Cake still with the crab right here. Cooler's gonna be popped on the side of Loxyay. Zuzu unfortunately going down to the switch right there in the bottom right, able to be traded out by, looks like Fox on that side. JJ's gonna try and sneak up here to the left. It looks like getting on their plat right here. Able to find the pen, able to find another. Cake's able to follow up, and it looks like it's just the knot on their plat. JJ pushing up. Able to find one, able to find two. What is happening? As it looks like Auntie just keep their foot on their gas, able to get down to 43.
And they're very close to those strikes, no doubt going to toss those here on those pads, but never mind. They do go 2 down, so maybe going to save those for re-entry here as they are very close to another power clam. The strikes coming out. It looks like trying to give Cakes an opportunity here, but not enough for them to be able to find a pick as Parks forms yet another clam. You got to keep in mind, this is just clam after clam after clam here for Auntie, getting another pick on the Wipers. Swish starting to look forward. That's 2 down. We see Swish going for the pen, going for Aster. Does not manage to get Fox. Fox clutches up that engagement, leaving just the Wiper on the side for Auntie as Loxyay finally able to get their feet in mid.
The flank.
The
flank.
Oh,
I don't like the flank. I don't like this flank. Actually, I do like it because we get 2 down this side of the plat. The pen's able to dive. Zuzu almost found one of their plat. It looks like JJ able to contain it even more. Trying to solve that pity right there. And it looks like while Loxyay were able to get the 65, they could have got even more if JJ didn't flank right there. And like we talked about earlier, that flank and ankle lot really crucial in that team's defense. So it's like Auntie already moving up, taking that mission.
especially on this map in order to stop the flow of those clams near that ramp. Beautiful flank there from JJ as we do see a Swish popping those strikes. Does force the members of Loxyay to move and dance a little bit, but not enough for this to be less than a 3v3 situation. The crowd going to come out taking advantage of that claustrophobic plat as well, but it's just Zuzu and Fox on that right side, not able to find any picks here for Cakes. A very scrappy endgame here with a minute left in this game, and Auntie keeping control of mid for 95% of this game half.
Yeah, it looks like they're able to find another score on their plat right here, getting down to 30. Cakes trying to follow up on this, gets one clam in. 2 unfortunately going to go down on the side of Auntie. The Cakes unfortunately going to go down, Switch is going to go down, JJ's going to go down. What is down finally? It looks like Loxyay already the clam on their side, already pushed up onto the plateau. Rain's going to come out on the side of Loxyay. We already have a Booyah Bomb online. I assume the pen is close to clam. We have 2 P clams on the side. JJ already looked for another flank. Ailey spotted early as looks like the pen's right there. Loxyay's all going to funnel right. JJ able to find one on the flank, trying to find another, not able to find another. Squish trying to push up. Unfortunately, going to be backed up. Looks like it's going to be a 3v2 on the side of Loxyay.
if they have specials soon, which they do have this cooler, this could be huge for Loxyay, depending on whether or not Auntie goes around and finds a way to stem the flow of these clams. They do lose JJ. Cakes trying to 1v1 Aziel over here on the right side. Does manage to get that pick as we enter overtime. Zuzu really close to that stamp as we do see the pen here up on this left side with that power come. The stamp goes in, trying to find one. Are they trying to find jumps? I don't understand, because by the time the pen puts their feet there on the ground, it's over. Everybody's chipped, there's paint underneath their feet, and there's nowhere to run. Auntie, cleanly and dominantly, taking game 4 of our best of 9 set.
Auntie had most control over that game. They stalled their pushes really well. They got a push. I'll say the first 2 pushes they didn't wipe out, so they're able to retain mid control, re-push in through there, and they were able to just knock the score down so much for Loxyay. Probably the score like 2 pieces they didn't win there. They had a chance at the end, I will say. The hammer just got shut down. Looks like, I think, I'm gonna assume by Swish on their plat. And okay, they're selling someone back in. Good. But yeah, so honestly, I think Auntie played it really well. They didn't get the first wipe up, but they played defense really well. Their pushes were really good. They were really big scores. JJ was able to be on the flank like twice, able to sell pushes even longer. And honestly, I think Auntie's defense was really good that game.
To me, it was more than their defense. It was the way that they allowed their pushes to end, and with it, maintaining control of mid. The fact that they were able to hold mid for so long and give those pushes up meant that they were just quickly ready to be right back at it. Most of the clams in this map spawn in mid, as for most maps. So not overextending on pushes on a map that can very quickly be plat to plat really served Auntie well in this game.
And looking at map 5, I'm gonna assume it's Splat Zones, obviously. I'm pretty sure. I gotta look at the map really quick. I don't have it pulled up really now.
Splat Zones Ramen.
Splat Zones Ramen. Boom, easy. Now, one thing I will say that Loxyay does have going for this is Pen. Pen is really good on Ramen. It just obviously paints the zone if you're staying from that one like snipe area-ish. Vertically. I will say also, looks like the decap is back in on the side of Auntie. Blue is back in, so I assume we're gonna see decap Brola. I assume. Or JJ actually stay wiper because they did really well in wiper that game. On the side of Loxyay, we're probably gonna see that Pen. I assume we're probably gonna stay as fast as it looks like it, and maybe we'll get a comp change, maybe we'll go like Splash instead. And then I don't know what the Knot would go. I don't really know if they go maybe double cooler. I actually know the time, but I'm still very excited to see what the comps are at this point.
I'm excited to see the variability now that we're going to see out of Loxyay, given that they have an extra player on the field. Whether or not we'll see any of those quirky dualies again, given that Chase is out of the picture for now, does make me a little sad. But that being said, extra paint for the Blaster Fox to take advantage of, particularly as we move into zones, things could change. Aster might have not been warmed up for that game, so maybe they only needed one to get going.
Or maybe we see, I don't know, maybe Azza goes back on that edit, as we do see that Barella decap gonna come back on the side of Auntie. And it's gonna be the same comp on the side of Loxyay. Not really any major changes, but I think Loxyay wants to really fight this map, really take hard control. And honestly, I think it would come down to how the team fights go on both sides, well, as every single team goes.
I'm really excited to see what this pen brings to Loxyay, having those safe jumps and all that extra paint for the Knot and the Blaster to take advantage of. That being said, it is Auntie who is the second team to cap the zone, but more importantly, the first to lock and hold by getting control of Loxyay's elbow. Beautiful bubble there, going to prevent Loxyay from re-engaging that quite so soon, as the crab provides some sweet hot chip there to keep them out. Auntie getting below that 70 point, so we're looking at a decent opening push. Maybe not, as they go 3 down.
It was just splat after there, as Loxyay already has 2 steps online. Zeus is going to try and run forward, but Blue's able to jump in, able to find the hammer there very cleanly. Looks like able to find another player. Looks like going to try and camp a jump zone. Zuzu's able to get the revenge right here. Auntie's able to recap the zone right here. It looks like we see Zuzu going down on the side of Loxyay here. The Booyah Bomb being popped. As JJ's trying to run and trying to find one, but unfortunately goes down to the pen right here. And it looks like Loxyay are hopefully maybe in a very few seconds are able to take control of the zone.
Yeah, taking advantage of the fact that there was one less player in that zone, we do see them drop and get one, but nonetheless, Park's able to stop that wiper as they try and reassert presence in that elbow. 2 members down on the side of Auntie. Auntie pretty consistently 2 down so far this game. Again, another stagger here going to give Loxyay an opportunity to clear that penalty as JJ forced the back, but really close to that inkjet, and we know how devastating that can be from the Gorge game.
His ink is partying into Popper. He's trying to find 2 on the side. Fox is forced to pop the Booyah. Blue's able to pop the bubble zone, able to find the pen right there. It looks like the meat trades on the side of Auntie, able to find the zone right here. But now it's fighting forward, able to trade out the decap. And while Auntie, like we saw in the shift of the game, they lose the fight, but they're able to cap the zone. They're stalling the timer even longer.
And Auntie narrowly maintaining control of their lead, but not for long as Loxyay pops that stamp. It does get the pick on Parks there, pulling that lead. Exactly. And here we go with they're very close to that Booyah Bomb as 2 members delayed down on the side of inkjet, but this inkjet needs to come up huge as we're getting dangerously close to that 30 mark with Loxyay now 1 down. Cake starting to look forward, possibly going to be able to take advantage of JJ's inkjet. We do see Zuzu there on the right, does get the pick on the dually, and that means Loxyay maintaining control of the zone, but not for much longer as Auntie capitalizes on that bubble to get that cap, applying some desperately needed penalty to Loxyay.
It looks like that bubble came huge on the side of Blue right here. It's Fox trying to find one, not able to find one on the side. The Blue popping that bubble, which is what allowed Auntie to just paint the zone there, stall for much longer for everyone to come back in and try and paint zone right there. Blue looks like taking the fight right here. JJ also going to combine, trying to kind of find Zuzu. Not unfortunately, looks like Ancient's going to be popped behind. They think it might get value. The Ancient's able to find the pen, but being taken down by the S-Class, and it looks like Loxyay is going to try and find the zone here. Zuzu almost found 2 right there, but the zone still not flipped. It's finally flipped right there on the side of Loxyay, and it looks like Auntie 2 down again with Parks just in this corner looking for another lockout. This could be the lockout that win the game.
Every time I look at the HUD, Auntie is 2 down, and Loxyay miraculously not in their elbow. And it's that's exactly what is allowing Auntie to re-engage and apply that penalty over and over. And they're playing this safe here. They know that Cakes has that crab coming out immediately as soon as they have it. And that's going to give Blue here enough wiggle room to work forward, pop that bubble in the zone, and again, flip that cap because they didn't have to fight Loxyay for that elbow space with those specials. JJ going to pop that inkjet, but taken out by the blaster as Blue goes in 1, gets the stamp, but not enough to get Acer there on that pencil. Loxyay regaining that cap again, taking advantage of the fact that, frankly, some overextension there from Auntie towards the elbow.
Yeah, Auntie just cooler front and everyone ran in, but Fox was actually, it's still in zone, able to find 2 and still to push even longer for Loxyay, and this could come down to the very last push. This is what happened to Ship Shape, where Loxyay had control in the past 30 seconds, but Auntie able to come back in. Looks like they're going to try and flip the zone. They're able to flip the zone and go right here. The rain's going to come on the side of Loxyay. Zuzu able to find that kill on the brother right here. Blue's trying to push forward with this cooler, almost has bubble online. Able to pop out bubble, but unfortunately going down right here. 2 down on the side of Auntie. 2 more down. It's 2 for 2 trade. Everyone's jumping to the bubble right here. We see Ozza still in that knot right here, still up, still trying to fight. Cake's gonna pop that crab right here. Wait, I forgot their name. He's gonna pop cooler here. It looks like one last retake attempt as the Blue goes down on the side of Auntie. It's just 3v4 right now on the side of Auntie. Looks like the hammer's gonna pop. That's what's gonna go down. Zuzu able to find that trade. The hammer's gonna come out. Now they're able to find one. Ozza's able to find one. Parks is frozen in his zone. It looks like finally, after the chaotic fight in mid, Loxyay cap the zone and win the game. 3-2.
Able to squeak on by there. Auntie not enough time to cap and reapply overtime. Oh my gosh. I thought they were going to pull it back. A high key.
I thought they were as well.
The surprising amount of special dipping that happened this game, though. Every time I look, JJ's being taken out of the sky in inkjet. Every other time I look, Zuzu's being like absolutely guapped while in hammer, just whiplashed either by Cakes or by Parks. So there's a lot of scrap going on here. I love that.
I will say, I don't know, I forgot who had the pick, but I do remember when Blue was very close to Bubble. Blue actually popped Bubble, but then immediately died. If Blue survived there, that could have been a whole different story, because then you have to wait for the 2 seconds to respond because of Cool. You have to jump back in. Everyone knows we're going to jump back in because Auntie is also just like clustered in that one area. And Loxyay were able to just combine their specials. Honestly, Loxyay, I will say, we talk about them not taking elbow, but like they didn't really die a lot. They didn't wipe out a lot. The pen was able to survive the whole last 3 minutes basically. And the pen could just pins over 3, and they couldn't really. Well, everyone was focusing specials on like Zuzu or Fox. The pen was just sitting back, pinning zone, chipping at an Inkjet or chipping at Blue. And honestly, Auntie couldn't really do anything because they were using all their specials on the fast moving Viper or the S-Blast, who just Shark and got 2. And like, honestly, Loxyay, I still think they're winning the fights. It's just like the objective is just sometimes scary for me, honestly, because because Auntie keeps capping zone, keeps stalling it for so long, and I'm just scared because it's just like we saw in Shift Shape. Auntie got 1 lockout and won the game, even though they were losing for 4/5 of that game.
Yeah, to me, the difference was overextension. For like Auntie, they wanted that elbow so bad, which like rightfully so. That's what we're all taught, like how to play robo zones. You take the elbow. But most of the time I saw that happen, JJ swung by themselves and tried to go diff. There was a moment where they were trying to diff the pen and the Viper at the same time, and like, you are the GOAT. However, you were holding Umbrella. And that was a little scary.
I will say also just like, we talked about crabs, Cake's crabs, but like the crab really got no value because it was popped so far back where like if it's popped on a little like glass area, you get way more value. You can shoot the pen with the crab. But it's popped so far back where like the Inkjet couldn't really combo off the crab. As we're moving on to the second map, Tower Control Undertow. I expect probably no comp changes. We're gonna see a stand for the side of Blue, which is probably expected. And then actually Zuzu fan swapping to that decaf. I'm very interested in this decaf Stanford matchup.
Interesting. The one of the few moments we see Blue swapping off of that, right? I gotta wonder whether or not that is to clear the pencil from that top left area as they round towards that second check. 'Cause maybe you don't have that crab, maybe you don't have that Inkjet online. Zuzu does take the fight with JJ on that right side, and that's going to leave Azza the opportunity to get on tower there as they also take out Cakes from the left, meaning there are no players from Auntie on that left side of the map to stall this push out.
I will say one thing about, again, Loxyay's comp. Chase unfortunately getting out, but now they have a pen. They have a certified just objective grabber and a pen, basically saying, hey, I'm the right tower, I'll grab Rainmaker, I'll do whatever you want because I'm a pen, I'm so long range. Oh, looks like JJ's gonna go down. Blue already down, and oh my gosh, the first was not even done, and Loxyay might even just clear the second checkpoint.
Yeah, here we go, and they're also really close to that cooler, barreling towards that third, which is one of those checkpoints that you really just want to stack bodies on. And that being said, they have this bubble on the tower. That can be really dangerous for Auntie. 2 members down, and JJ taken out as well.
Oh
That's a wipe out. That's a wipe out. Drip pick up tower.
This might be the shortest like Undertow tower game I've ever seen. I'm gonna be honest. Like it was like I think 350. That's a minute and 10 seconds. Like no paint and Loxyay spawn. Like. Wow. Okay. Wow. And Rainmaker's coming up, by the way. Like
they
this
stood
is crazy,
on tower, and then they did not step off.
They had a pen. I feel like the Hagglefish game that Edit likes to fight. Pen, you can just chip for so long range where it just loves the right tower. I like the right tower as a pen. You can grab Rainmaker as a pen because like, what is a pen gonna do on offense? Let's be clear. But. Honestly, I think Aunties just struggle with. We saw, like you mentioned earlier on Ramen, they stagger so much. Like you always mentioned, there's 2 down. And we just see them kind of running and fighting alone. Like at the very beginning, Blue just ran towards tower, died on tower. And then JJ tried to follow up on right side or left side, died. Cakes was trying to fight mid, just died. And then it was just a wipeout from there because also Parks tried to fight right and just died. So then it was staggered from there. And Loxyay just kind of got the second checkpoint, I would say, free. But the second checkpoint was clear. They had cooler, so they could continue to fight. Looks like Swish is probably going to sub in for Blue right here, so we're going to probably see a slosher. Probably more of that fighting. But honestly, that decaf, I will say, on the side of Loxyay, I think that decaf went really well for them.
Is Azza Prosper genuine question.
Oh, we're so dumb. It might be. Oh, we're so dumb. Oh, we're so dumb.
Because to be fair, it does not match Sendo. Prosper, listen. I have to gas Prosper. I'm gonna gas Prosper.
No, because it's Splatoon.
And then I'm gonna roast you.
No, probably
Prosper,
so
when I
Oh my
was
God.
baby comp, you were like the coolest shit. Carrying up mid-level and playing midpoint. I think it was the people who remember midpoint. Anyway, Prosper, you're the GOAT. And I'm disappointed the fact that your IGN does not match Senda. If that is you. If not, please disregard everything I said except about how awesome you are.
No, I think it is. I think you're correct. We're moving to Rainmaker Humpback, by the way, which is like aggressive map. Again, Loxyay. I assume JJ's gonna go Viper here. Like, I'd kind of be psychotic, but not, because Viper is just good on Rainmaker. Probably good with this map. Hammer's also good with this map. I mean, they kind of just wiped Loxyay on Inkblot with Hammer with Viper. So I'm gonna assume it's Bucket. It's Bucket, Dooley's Viper, edit, and then we're gonna have not Viper, S-Blast, Pen. That's what I'm against for comps. If I'm wrong, you can sue me. But okay, I was so wrong. We're going Kraken, edit, and Zap.
I
which,
love
honestly,
that for them.
I'm not even mad about Zap because Zap's really good on this map. Kraken, edit, Kraken. See, I'm not even calling edit. Kraken, Flatling got buffed, but like I don't know. It's Kraken, Humpback. We'll see how it goes.
We will see how it goes. Is Auntie the first team to break that Rainmaker barrier? It is a trade for trade with the decavs there on top mid, and we do see Aster on that back right side. Somehow, through all that chip damage, Auntie going 2 members down, Swish there, left alone, trying to survive. I do think that they got their hit points back, but they need those strikes to maintain control of that elbow. Given how fast we can expect Loxyay to be swinging, but beautiful Kraken there from Parks in order to be able to stall out that push. A lot of smoke, no fire. That Rainmaker is still in mid.
Yeah, but Zuzu just got a triple right there, by the way. Well, the Kraken was stung, but Zuzu just pushed up on the check, able to find 3, and then found that decap again. The Swish is going to come down the Fox. It took me 1 for a trade on that checkpoint, but it's still checkpoint clear. We still have a bubble on the side of Loxyay. Cooler-wise, just popped on the side of Auntie. I don't know how close right now. We're still close to this bubble. Blue's gonna run in. JJ runs it 2 down on the side of Auntie. And Park's gonna immediately pop the Kraken, stall the push even longer. It looks like we're just gonna get to score 40, 2 down on the side of Loxyay. This is gonna be another push right here.
Every single time I see a Kraken come out in Rainmaker, it gives me whiplash. Just how quickly pushes can be completely foiled thanks to one invincible special. We do see Cakes with the Rainmaker here moving towards that right side, but not before they lose Swish with those 8 strikes. Do they know that there's 2 members of Loxyay down waiting for them to drop? Parks trying to take that peek, no doubt calling out where those members are. JJ unaware of Zuzu, but nonetheless going to turn and get that pick as Cakes manages to finally, after a very patient push, break this first checkpoint.
It looks like the Nat's going to go on the side of Loxyay. 2 down on the side of Loxyay, actually. We are going to stall even longer. But the bubble's unfortunately shredded on the side of Loxyay. Cooler's out. Swish is going to grab this maker, trying to run in, able to get the 37. Which is a good, I would say, good lead, especially with Kraken. Kraken's going to be top. Parks is trying to pop, but they're jumping through Parks, by the way. Looks like they're continuing to push even longer. Looks like they're not able to not find one. There's 3 already on the plat on the side of Auntie. Sadly, decap goes down. The Zap's actually going to go down. And looks like it was a failed, just 4 points there. And JJ's going to jump in. I'm really scared of this JJ jump. Do we know this JJ's jumping right? Oh, no, we don't. Oh, my God.
We don't.
No, please.
We do now.
We do.
Can we do anything about it? Can he jump out?
Okay, we killed him. Now, I will say, I think Loxyay needs to go fast here. Parks does not have Kraken. We need to go, because last time we learned we just kind of go in with all our specials, we're fine. We cannot go in when there's a Kraken. The suction up almost killed Fox there. Strikes are coming out. Cakes go down. There's a bubble on the side of Zuzu. Rayer trying to self the Rainmaker. The Rainmaker's probably going to be the lead here. Parks, we're got the lead by 1. Oh my gosh. Okay, I was really scared there. Parks unfortunately just got the Kraken too late, and it looks like Loxyay able to lead by 1 point.
Frames, bro, frames. And we do see Loxyay, like you mentioned, a 1-point lead here with about a minute and a half left here in this set, or in this game, I'm sorry. We're even, right? This is the moment. This is whoever's setting themselves up to take the set, or whoever's expecting to take this to game 9. That is what this game right here means. That's what that 1 point means.
JJ popped bubble in mid right here. Unfortunately, not able to be as Erica's bubble as it probably like. 2 down the side of Loxyay with no cooler right here. 3 down actually now. It's gonna be a stagger right here. It looks like, oh my gosh, Auntie might get the lead here, but Zuzu denied that. Immediately just running in. Oh, Parks was so one right there. Looks like the crack can be called. The Booyah able to get 2 right there. Parks is their last hope inside of the Auntie right here. Kraken's trying to find one. Unfortunately, Parks is on the flat trying to stall. Looks like they jumped, and it looks like Loxyay just survived that by the skin of their teeth by Zuzu running in and not caring about what Auntie will throw at them.
Yeah, and keeping that Rainmaker down on that bottom right side makes it difficult for Auntie to get that pick and gain enough territory in order to be able to push successfully. We do see that Rainmaker moving towards that right side as Zuzu tries to take this elbow, knowing that Cakes is in that corner with that zap. That is not a player that you want left standing thanks to those suction bombs, and they do manage to take them off of the table. Swish here has those strikes for defense, but they need those strikes alive, and they also need those strikes to push with only 15 seconds left. Asa staying in mid patiently. Here comes Parks with the Kraken. Oh my gosh, finally does manage to get that pick, but it's just them and Swish standing. They need to pop and grab.
Foxes was flanking that whole time, by the way, and not able to find one, but Zuzu just, again, jumps in. Doesn't really care what Loxyay throws at him, because he's just decaf, and decafs can just live whatever they want. Fox sharking media. This is really crucial thing. JJ barely paints that over. Fox unfortunately goes down right here. Looks like cooler on the side of Loxyay was popped right here. And Skep, I'm gonna let you take this one away.
It's 1 point. It is just Asa there on that right side. JJ trying to swing that with Cakes. The bubble does come out. That will keep Parks safe in this corner, but that rain's going to make it so hard to move. And Zuzu using that foot paint in order to get in and get that pick before Auntie could get their bearings in that elbow. Beautiful play here from Loxyay, and I can smell the winds changing,
Honestly, if I had to say something, a short, sweet sense game, I'm gonna say that's a classic Rainmaker humpback game. 1 point lead, maybe. I will say I was really scared for Loxyay because it looked like they had a bubble up on their push, and it looks like they couldn't get any more than 32. They couldn't even got the lead, by the way. It was just by that one skin of their teeth they got the lead. But honestly, MVP is probably Zuzu. Zuzu saved that one push by just diving in, not caring about what they had Loxyay had to throw at them. And especially, what Auntie had to throw at them. And Auntie had Kraken on the line. So even if they died and Zuzu got none, they could have probably repopped and got the lead there. So I mean, Zuzu just finding 2 there out of their skin, their teeth, amazing. As game 8, it's game 8. Okay, game 8. Loxyay is up 4-3 with the sub on with a ex-team member sub on the line, and we're going to Clams. Let me guess. I don't have the map list up. Let me Clams Museum, because we haven't seen a museum yet. That's my guess.
Clams Barnacle. You did it again.
Okay. See, well, because you can't blame me for not thinking museums not construct at one point.
Okay. So, someone said it earlier. It was Dr. Prince in chat. Thank you guys for the info. Apparently, Aster used to be Loxyay's shot caller. So not only did you get your competent pen player back who's willing to play objective, but you also got a source of direction on the team that you used to rely on. And that can be such a beautiful thing. And
Also,
we're
we'll
seeing
say-
that with those 3 games.
I will say as well, JJ, Brello's kind of doing really well against their first 2 maps, because Dapples can really kill Umbrella. Everyone kind of struggles with JJ, and then as soon as Prosper pulled the not just really good at just saying, push into me, I don't care, I'm gonna hold S on my keyboard, just walk backwards until you have to push into me because I'm just longer range than you. Especially like we saw at the end, the rain just painted over basically Parks' feet, could not really move anywhere. So it's gonna come down to this Barnacle again. This I will say is a more wide open map where I could see again Brella Inkjet being really good here, especially because defense wise there's not really a lot of places to stand from. I think this is gonna come down to again. I assume Zuzu staying decaf. I really hope Zuzu could actually I don't know, man. I don't know. We're in game 8. This could be Loxyay coming down from 3-1 with a sub on their line and just taking over the set, basically.
I hope they go under.
They go under.
They're not. They're not. They're not. All right, here we go.
I will say that blue isn't in on the side of Auntie, so JJ is actually the one on decaf, which is very interesting. We have 2 decaf players, which is very cool, I will say. And Zuzu does switch over back to that Viper. I assume Viper's probably their comfortability pick. I don't blame them. We see a big fight, not a really big fight, but mid fight here. Who's already popped on the side of Auntie right here. Cake's struggling to stay alive. Looks like, oh my gosh, and big fight here. Looks like 1-for-1 trades on both sides. Parks is really weak to the hammer. It looks like Loxyay is trying to push up here. Prosper able to find that pity, and the crab on the side of Auntie able to find the pen. And it looks like I just ate my own words right there as Auntie's able to push up.
They're able to get control of Loxyay's plat, but nonetheless, they do not have a power clam online. Parks is really close to one, but a Booyah Bomb thrown at their feet as Fox starts working their way left to retake space in mid. Notice that there's no member of Auntie left on their plat, so Loxyay able to walk right on in and start looking forward. We do see Auntie forced to back mostly towards that right side where we see Swish and Parks, and I believe there was a third member, that's Cakes over there. Swish does manage to get the pick on Prosper as Zuzu does trade that out, but Auntie miraculously winning their fights here and getting control of that plat yet again for a second time this game.
And Zuzu again just disrespecting Auntie, saying, okay, whatever, I don't care, you took plat, I'm gonna kill your slosher. And then the pen already trading up the decaf right here, and looks like the crab on the side of Auntie is gonna try and sell this push even longer. Prosper's here, force the backup, Swish is trying to push forward, Zuzu jumping in, and it looks like here, Auntie has mid, but the Booyah is going to come out. It looks like there's going to be a big fight in mid right here to decide who scores maybe at first as the decaf goes down the side of Auntie.
And then we have Parks having to look both left and right to deal with the 2 oncoming members of Loxyay. Fox pushing up with Zuzu, now threatening that court area. We do see Aster with this power clam going to go for that dunk, and they're all cool. That being said, not a lot of clams in their hands in order to be able to sustain this with getting to 54 remaining. Zuzu does get 1 clam, does swim back to that snipe to maintain control, opting to leave that push as it were and keep Auntie out of mid. Remember, mid is where those clams are.
This is what Auntie did on Inkblood basically. They said we got a good push for and take back mid here. Zuzu unfortunately on ground. Take trying to get present, trying to put the pen, now to find one. 2-for-2 trade on both teams right here. There's a ball to play around on the side of Auntie right here. Parks kind of pushed up with that pity. Parks drizzles like they have 2 on line. Zuzu just does not care. Zuzu just does not care. Whatever. Okay. Zuzu just running at the enemies, just doing point and click simulator, splatting everyone. Sorry. And it looks like Loxyay already on their plat, looking to score again.
They need to get it together. This is match point here for Loxyay. This could take Auntie out of the playoffs. So it's either now or game 9. Loxyay getting another power clam in and getting below that 50 mark. 2 members down on the side of Loxyay as Case uses that crab in order to get Auntie back into the game. But they need to do more than just take control of that snipe. They need to score. And that's not something that they've been able to do so far this game.
Auntie's just staggering here. As again, hammer. Okay, Zuzu. Hi, Zuzu. We know you're in the game, okay? We know you're in the game, Zuzu. Oh. Zuzu, you're in the game. Okay, Zuzu, we know you're playing the game. Oh, I think that's a 5K. I think that's a 5K. Oh my gosh. Okay, just Loxyay just doesn't want to give up mid. Case is gonna go down on the side of Auntie right here. There's another pity clamp going in. Swish, unfortunately, going down. Parks is trapped in this corner right here. This could be a KO on the side of Loxyay right here.
That's apparently the namesake Loxyay on that Viper. Aster has control of the snipe. No more clams on the side of Loxyay. Auntie nonetheless down. That's a pretty dangerous situation given that they are so close to that KO. But Loxyay, a minute left in the game, opting to keep their feet planted there on that snipe. Prosper forced to back a little bit thanks to the oncoming chip from that crab, knowing that Lox is down. Aster on that snipe, trying to keep out the members of Auntie in front of that choke. Strikes come out from Swish, but not enough to gain a lot of space, but they do manage to get the pick on Aster. It is trade after trade here with just the bucket and the knot. The knot does win that one out, and with it forming a power clam, Auntie Their feet are on the fire, their backs against the wall with 15 seconds left in this game and nothing to show for it.
Zuzu eventually going to be taken down on the enemy flag right here. It looks like this is Auntie's final hope of keeping their Div 2 playoffs alive. 008, unfortunately, to jump out that cooler there. Fox, Booyong right here, trying to slow the push even longer. Zuzu's already in their base right there. JJ's going to go down on T-Cap right here. Switch is trying to fight left right here in this bucket right here. 008 trying to apply trip pressure. The Switch is able to find the Zuzu, able to get traded out by the 10. All over the... No, sorry. Looks like Cakes are trying to pick up the pity, trying to continue. Half of the overtime gone right here. Zuzu able to push up the hammer, able to find one, able to find two. Cakes trying to push in, able to find... And that is it. That is a Loxyay, I would say, a pretty dominant, honestly, last 3 games for them. Not the Humpback game, but Undertow, Barnacles, really dominant performances. 85-0 on Barnacle Clams.
Beautiful game out there from Loxyay, taking that patience that we saw as characteristic of Auntie, particularly on the Haggle game and the first game, forgive me, that was Splat Zone Ship Shape, and turning that on its head with a simple sub. A comp change, bringing in an old teammate, an old friend, someone you can rely on when things were looking pretty dicey there after those DCs. The set heavily favored towards Auntie, taking their first loss of the LUTI season, and with that loss, out the door until next season. Loxyay keeping on strong, and we'll see where they end up.
Honestly, I think the MVP of the comeback was Zuzu. I think, like, not even Barnacle, but multiple maps we just saw Zuzu just do stuff that probably shouldn't be doable, honestly. I think Auntie just struggled to just stop. I think Auntie tried to make too many hero plays, like we saw on Barnacle. They tried to make too many hero plays, trying to push up, and unfortunately, Zuzu just honestly was successful in making the hero plays for Loxyay. But Loxyay always had backup inside of Zuzu. There's Prosper and the Knot. I forgot their name on the pen, but 008 was doing an amazing job just painting the map, applying chip pressure for Zuzu, and then Fox. We cannot forget about Fox. Fox was just lurking every time, able to kill, able to splat off what Zuzu couldn't, and Loxyay just was dominating that map, honestly.
Shoutouts to us for keeping their names straight when none of their names match. Shoutouts to us.
I feel bad for not remembering 008. I feel like their name was said.
It's Aster, and then Prosper is Asa, and...
See, I can remember it, exactly.
But the wiper was apparently locked the whole time, which I didn't know.
No, the lock was... Wait, the locks was... No, I'm... Wait.
Chase was something completely different.
Wait. No, Chase was that one person. Wait, hold on, now I'm looking...
I don't think a single one of their names matched, except for maybe Fox.
No, okay, well, Lox local, well, Zuzu. I think Zuzu's so
I didn't know!
Well, I mean, their IGN Zuzu, it says Zuzu fan, so Zuzu must be someone they like, or enjoy, or something. But
they can name themselves whatever they want.
That was adrenaline. That was a very adrenaline... I think coming back from 1-3, the kind of quote-unquote reverse sweep, I would say. Not really, but, like, still very dominant, like, I'm thinking they won Undertow Tower, very dominant. Barnacle, dominant. Humpback, skin of their teeth winning that game. And then Splat Zone's Ramen, a very close game again. I think Loxyay just played together really well as a team, and they proved that who cares if we sub someone in, we're still gonna play together as a team. And I think the pen really helped Loxyay, I will say. I think the pen stabilized them more. The pen was able to outrange anyone on Auntie. I think Loxyay moving on to semifinals of Div 2, and that's my fantasy pick. Go Loxyay, you're my fantasy pick. Yes, go Loxyay. Yay.
For me, you could see the difference in the comms with Auntie in the first couple of games. They were rotating and playing off of each other's fights so cleanly, beautifully. You particularly shoutouts to Cakes. You could see them responding to one player and then responding to another player on the other side of the map, and just doing such a good job as a Slayer, drawing circles around everything else in the comp. Loxyay, less so. We're not doing that the first 3 games, not nearly to as efficient of a degree. But as soon as they got their little Aster back, It seems like things like really just locked into place for them, especially in terms of communication.
I think they are a little stabilized more. Forgot to mention Loxyay. I think you're my double div pick or whatever it is, like the double points pick. And I'm third, so like this win was actually massive for me. I'm not gonna lie. But so I honestly I will say like I mentioned at the beginning of the set, either of the teams could probably win Div 2. This matchup being in quarterfinals was a crazy. This could be a semifinals or even finals matchup being here, but I'm very excited. Very good set, I will say. There's a lot of very good splatting in that. So I'm gonna actually I'll throw over to myself first because I probably gonna take less time than you and shouting at my stuff. So I'll just say my name's Half SPL. You can find me on Blue Sky Half SPL. I don't know. I don't know. I'm watching. I'm not really like tweeting, blue skying, whatever you could say. I'm just listening, viewing, watching amazing Splatoon content. And Skep, I'm gonna throw it over to you because I know you want to promote a lot of things.
I actually, that's crazy, Half, because I'm not doing anything right now. I'm just playing Splatoon.
Okay. What?
You can find me. Hi, my name's Skep. You can find me on Blue Sky at Skepidillions. And you can find me in Sendo Help Desk. That's it.
Nice. Yes. I think I don't know what is coming up for weekend wise. This is a Friday, by the way. This week is Saturday, Sunday. So I assume there's even more LUTI amazing sets happening tomorrow. So this is just the quarterfinals, by the way. So more amazing LUTI action on the Splatoon 30 coming soon. TM.
Thank you so much for coming out, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening. See you soon and stay fresh.
Waving up.